All right, we're live, or so the screen says, and welcome to the Stunt Hangar Control Line Hangouts. I'm Rusty, and I'll be your host talking about aeromodeling and other things closely related to that for the next couple of hours. And the links are posted in the usual places, which is the At the Bench thread. If you're logged into the Stunt Hangar ControlLine.com forums, you can log in there with your camera and microphone. The link is in the thread called At the Bench, and that's down below the open forum in the live streams section. Otherwise, you can use the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel and watch us live stream there and use the chat box to either talk amongst yourselves or talk to us, give us any questions, answers, advice you got, and have conversations among yourselves. And so we'll hang out till about midnight or maybe later. I always say that. Sometimes we got more juice on a Friday night than we do on a Monday night. So we'll see how she goes. But let's see, the link I actually am waiting for it to post. It's being a little pokey tonight, but it'll be up in just a few seconds, I hope. Yep, it is posting. And so the link in the At the Bench thread, yeah, there it goes. It's up, and you can click on that and come in to visit. And Jack Snavely is my first visitor in the YouTube section. He says, hello, Rusty, and all else in the hangar or shop and around the world. Hey, Jack, glad to have you. One of our regular visitors. Appreciate your attendance and your loyalty to the Control Line Stunt Forums Hangout show. Hope we'll get a good crowd tonight. We've been having a couple of pretty fun shows lately. I think I heard somebody trying to join just a second ago. And TR and P, that's Tom Rammel and Peter Nevi. Hey, guys, how are y'all tonight? And the last announcement I have is to, as always, keep it family room friendly. Excuse me. Gary Sinclair just dropped in, so they're pouring in like crazy now, beating the doors down. How's everything? How you doing tonight, Gary?
Good.
Good. All right, let me put y'all in grid view, and so I got no brilliant new news to start the show with. I'll let y'all tell us what you did over the weekend for fun. And I'm running on 2 hours of sleep from last night, so I might be a little dull. Y'all are going to have to be the source of entertainment for tonight. But maybe y'all will inspire me, and I'll get lit off pretty soon here. But
so my son called me and had some problems with his boat, brought it over, and we ended up diagnosing it to the head gasket. We had 2 cylinders that had water in them.
Oh, lovely.
2 basic cylinders. So
what kind of motor is it?
It's a 5.7 liter V8.
Oh, that's a big one. So it's an inboard, outboard?
Yes. And so we left the motor in the boat and did all the work in the boat, but
that's harder to do than working under the hood of a car, isn't
it? Gaskets and
was the boat in the
torque
water?
Everything.
Did y'all have it trailered or dry docked, or is it in the water?
No, he pulled it out and brought it over to my driveway.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Driveway.
Yeah.
Well, we got it done and it's working, so that's a good thing.
Well, good. So water didn't get pumped all through the journals and everything. It's clean and good now.
There was no water in the oil. It stayed in the cylinders. It was the brake was between 2 cylinders, and so the water was kind of going back and forth between 2 cylinders.
Okay.
But he noticed it right away, so we pulled it out and worked on it right away before there was any damage. It could have been a lot of damage if we had kept running it.
Yeah, water in the engine is never a good thing. And we got John joining us. Hey, John, how you doing tonight?
Homemade beef bean burrito.
All right. Well, we're working on summertime harvest now. My brother-in-law, who is a botanist by trade, has a home garden that he feeds all of the shelters, or a lot of the shelters in Greenville, South Carolina, with, and got way more produce than he can handle or eat at home or give away. So he brought a big old pile of it over here, and my favorite part, the fresh Crowder peas are so good with a few string beans snapped and mixed in with them, and that's one of my favorites. Of all the peas, summertime peas, Crowder peas are my favorite one. And oh man, he brought all kinds of. He brought some heirloom tomatoes that are every different color in the rainbow. Some are blood red, some are bright yellow, and so we had BLTs yesterday, and that's summertime food. That might be contributing partly to my sleepy looking demeanor tonight because I just piled in a hell of a good supper. So
I was going to ask how in the world you can be so slim and make me so hungry, and I just signed on. I just finished supper. Jeez.
yeah, I've always I've always had a ridiculously good appetite and can eat humongous amounts of food. Now I don't eat as much as I used to, but I used to when I was younger. I used to just put ridiculous amounts of food away. But yeah, I'm still skinny. I guess I'm a human furnace. I burn it up as fast as it goes in.
I don't know, but I tell you one thing: you sure can make a man hungry.
Talking about food.
I'm wanting a tomato sandwich with one big purple, and I've forgotten what you call it. Tomatoes. They're ugly as the dickens, but boy, they taste good.
Those are the heirloom tomatoes, probably. Some of those heirloom tomatoes grow into odd shapes too. The ones that he brought over here look like three baseballs that grew
Yeah,
together with each other,
yeah.
and so you got three whole sections that'll slice up into a sandwich size tomato, and some
It
are
was only about
blood
100,
red.
100 or so years ago. Excuse me for interrupting. It's only been about 100 years, maybe a little more, that people began to eat tomatoes because they all thought they were poisonous because they're part
They
of the
did.
Arabian nightshade
That's
family.
right. Well,
Well,
boy, were they missing out.
if you listen to any of the doctors, they're terrible for you if you got rheumatoid arthritis or any kind of arthritis. Said stay away from tomatoes.
Well, they're high in acid content. That might be why.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
dangerous for me to eat a lot of, as well as potatoes, bananas, things like that. Have a lot of potassium in them, which will, I got no kidney function, so they will stop your heart if you eat too much potassium. So
Yeah.
I have to especially be careful on the weekends. Um, even French fries and stuff like that, you got to watch out for. So,
Well, I
but
know what you mean,
it's,
Rusty. I like
it's
to ride bicycles, and at every bicycle stop, what do they give you? A banana. I'm
yeah.
allergic to bananas. I
When
can't
my
eat them.
son was a runner in high school, um, that was the that was the go-to snack at the food stop table. They'd have orange slices and bananas,
Yeah,
and I love bananas too.
that's what
They're
we
not
don't.
the same thing we had when we were kids. Um, that variety of banana no longer exists, and everything we eat now is some sort of a hybrid, and taste the same, and it's hard to remember what the old bananas actually taste like unless you eat banana flavored stuff.
Yeah.
Everything that's candy that's banana flavored, a lot of that kind of stuff is flavored with the old original banana flavor. But other than that, it doesn't grow anywhere anymore because I think a blight got it or
Yeah.
something.
Wiped it out.
Yep, it's gone now.
That's a shame. I could eat the old stuff, but I can't eat these newfangled things.
I like them just fine, but when I
Uh,
when I do get a taste of the old stuff, I do remember the difference. It was much richer flavored,
yeah. Yeah. They
which
weren't
has
good.
nothing to
Bill,
do with airplanes. So y'all got any airplane stories
I
today?
saw Bill's control line plane flying on YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh, did you?
here it is.
All right, still in one
Sniper.
piece too.
That's cool.
Looks good. Yeah.
I took some, you know what A-line dye is? You take it and put it in nitrate clear and spray it on your wing, and you end up, it looks like you used dyed silk span.
That
But
yeah, Bob Zambelli was telling me about it. He used
yeah,
it as a yellow coloring for
yeah.
a plane he did.
My little stunt wagon, everybody talks so much about my little stunt wagon 30, the way it turned out. That's what's on it, A-line dye over polyspan. Well,
Yeah.
it was supposed to turn out about the yellow that he's got on that plane there. But I sprayed that sucker yesterday and it turned out fluorescent. Oh my God. Ooh, that's awful. It is awful. Now it's going to end up sprayed white and then yellow over the white to get rid of that fluorescent. I can't. I work
You
for
don't like that? Keep it for a while.
Rusty.
It might grow on you.
No. If you keep it a while, it fades out. It's a problem.
Uh,
But I was a lineman too many years, and we had to wear fluorescent. When I retired, I said never again will I wear fluorescent, and I will not fly a fluorescent airplane.
okay.
Just can't handle it. And just I saw it. I sprayed that tail, and I looked at the color, and it was kind of in the jar. It was Blue Angels yellow orange. I thought, well, that'll be all right. It's not what I want, but it'll be all right because it's going to be a little whiter than this when it goes on the plane.
Hmm.
It didn't turn white at all. It turned fluorescent, and I mean, it's so ugly.
That's what
My
you
wife
call
came.
it,
My wife
yaller.
came out in the yard and saw it and said, "What have you done?" I said, "I made a mistake. That's what I did.
That's not yellow. That's what you call a yaller.
That's what it is. Yaller. I can't stand it.
Yaller. Yeah.
I just brought the plane sitting right there. I just brought the plane back inside, and that tail's in the basement. I couldn't even bear to bring it upstairs. I don't want nobody to think I painted that thing.
There's another shade of yellow that I don't care for is racing yellow. And they did
Never
that on
cared
the
for that either.
factory paint jobs on some of the Camaros and things over the
Mm-hmm.
years. My wife walks up to the guy at the gas station. He's washing coincidentally, his Camaro one day. And she walked up and he said, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "Oh, pretty good. That's a nice looking Camaro." And he said, "Well, thank you." And she said, "You can wash that thing, you can wax that thing, and it's still gonna be yellow."
You'd
He
have to
turned
know
around and
Rusty's
walked
wife.
off.
She's a
No,
little
what's
bit.
wrong with yellow?
She's a little.
Golly.
Oh, it ain't yellow though. It's yaller.
Yeah.
I
It's
bought
yeah,
Okay.
some
just
Cub
nasty yellow.
yellow.
Yeah.
I bought a
Oh, that
little
thing.
can of Cub yellow last time Bob went up on a run to the Brodak Hobby Shop.
Yeah.
Oh, we had two just drop in on us. Hey guys, Eddie and Steve.
Great.
Well, I tell you what, it's gonna be a challenge to see if I can get this thing to look like something other than just because that
Well, it's
I
going to
don't
take
care.
some white. It's going to take a pretty good bit of white to cover that yellow up, isn't it?
Well, the beauty of it is I don't have to really cover it. I just
Yeah, that's
cover
not.
over it one time because it's gonna be yellow anyway.
Yeah.
But I'll
So
put a
Yep.
coat of I'll
the,
put a coat of
And
white
then
on it
wax
so
that
that you
thing,
can't
and
see
it's still
through
going to be yellow.
it. Oh God. Oh. Tom
you
DeLuca
guys,
looked at it.
yellow.
Tom
Speaking
Looper looked at it today and he said, "What in the heck did you do to that beautiful ringmaster?" I said, "I screwed it up."
Speaking of
Hey,
yellow, you
at
can't
least
get a
it's
much
the
nicer yellow
ringmaster.
color than you get with that Rust-Oleum water base. That's what I used on the Pathfinder.
But can you put clear dope or something over that
Absolutely.
with Rust-Oleum yellow?
Yeah, it's a water-based Rust-Oleum. It's called Painter's Choice.
I got to go look for that.
And
I
you
bet
put
that's
not only
good.
that, but the duplicate color for the trim went over and
Can
stuck to
anybody
it.
hear me?
Huh?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you, Steve.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
hear
see
you.
me?
Yeah, you're yellow.
Yeah, okay. I keep getting this thing that says that I'm unable to access my camera and speaker and stuff.
Oh,
Huh.
you've
You're
accessed
good.
it. You're
It's
on.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see and hear you, Steve.
Good.
Well, we think you're Steve.
He's not
You
that
claim
fuzzy.
to be Steve.
Yes,
If
He's
that's
he's
really
not
your
that
He hasn't
fuzzy.
said anything bad yet.
World Championships.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
So just a little bit about the plane. It's nose heavy. It's balanced probably, half an inch ahead of the lead outs or maybe a little more. But I thought for first flight that'd be good. And I used the 30-foot line that I was using on my other half A's. And with this medallion, I was spinning around. It really hauled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. I was doing about 2-second laps or something like that.
Yeah, that medallion will haul the freight pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I got in my
You
new
probably
Pinto,
want to
but I
go
haven't
up
got
to,
it.
you might
Finished
want
it
to go
yet.
up to 40 feet if it's breezy, 45 if it's windy, or 35 if you just want to fly fast and fun. But 30 is way too short.
Unless you want to screw yourself into the ground.
I mean that. I
Yeah.
mean that.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bill,
don't get your legs tangled
Yes,
up
sir.
in the stooge line.
I was looking for you last week.
Friday night, yeah, I got caught up.
Oh,
I
okay.
made too many promises and had to keep one of them in this
You go down there in the little box here. You'll see my email address. Send me an email and I'll ship you out a set of plans for the Pathfinder Elite.
Somebody just joined us. Look at him.
Yeah.
Hold on. I tell you what, I'll do that. Is it just Stunt Hangar's box?
No, it's the email address is in the what is it called here?
The chat.
The chat box. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it in just a minute. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
you
down there.
put
I'm
on the-
gonna be down there and aggravate Rusty. Going down in the morning down to my daughter's place in Columbia. So I'm gonna try to stop by and aggravate Rusty this time. I said I was
And
gonna do the
don't,
last two
don't
times and
stop
been
by
busy.
too early. Don't stop by too early though, because I'm gonna be sleeping late in the morning.
Oh, Rusty, I've got to leave Winston-Salem at about 8:00. So you won't see me early
You'll be
tomorrow,
here.
that's for sure. And my wife
Nah.
wants to stop in. We got to stop in Charlotte on the way down at BJ's to get some olives. So
Y'all be here
we
about
won't get there.
lunchtime then.
Yeah, something like that.
He'll
I'll
be
try to
out
give
there
you.
in his workshop. Just go out there and you can.
No. I've heard about Rusty's workshop. Unless he's got the AC thumping, I'm staying in the car. It was hot here today, but I talked to
No,
my
ain't no
daughter.
AC out there.
I
I
talked
just
to my
got a
daughter
text
today.
from my. I just got a text from my son, and says Elon Musk is on site and he's pushing for a static fire test tonight. So if that goes good, they'll probably do the 150-meter hop. Hopefully tomorrow. I definitely want to see that. That'll be spectacular. And then set it back down on its ass. Not the skydive maneuver yet. They'll have to do they'll probably do that on a 20-kilometer hop. But this will be the first time a Starship ever actually flew on purpose.
Well, one of them flew accidentally.
What'd you say?
You said this would be the first time one flew on purpose. I said, did one fly accidentally?
It did, yeah, not from engine power either. They had a problem with a fueling supply, and what happened is they filled a valve stuck and they filled the wrong tank first, and it was too much because the fuel is part of what holds the structural integrity of it together, and the top tank filled sitting on top of the bottom tank, and it just imploded, and when it imploded it cracked, and it threw itself about looked like about 75 feet off the ground, but I don't really know. But yeah, that was not exactly what we call a flight, but it did get airborne. That was serial number 2 in Boca Chica, Texas.
So,
Lordy.
what does he call his space thing?
SpaceX, isn't it?
Starship.
Oh, that's right, Starship.
Yeah, because
This is the
SpaceX has
Starship.
already flown and everything, so he's competing with SpaceX.
Well, this is SpaceX is the name of his company.
Oh, it is.
The one that flies the booster that flies the cargo and the astronauts is the Falcon 9 booster, and that's what he lands back on either the landing pad at Florida or on the ship out at sea.
Wow.
And
so what's he testing now then?
The Starship. That's the one that's going to be a big, giant, heavy carrier to take things up to the Artemis station, the moon, and Mars. And also, it's going to be a multifunctional. Just depending on what modules he bolts together, it'll be a point-to-point Earth hopper too.
Supposed to replace the space station, the International Space Station.
No, it's not. It's not going.
Well, it's not supposed to replace it, but they said it would take its thunder. That's the way they put it. It's going to start. They're going to start ending up using it instead of the space station because it, when finished, will be able to do so much more than the space station can do. So,
well, it's for an entirely different purpose. They're going to retire the space station and
that's what I
put
mean.
it into the tourist business, I believe.
Well, that's what I mean. I think that's what they were saying. They were going to retire the space station that they have now, and Musk's new thing is going to be much bigger and much more elaborate. And they're going to start using it for the test.
But it's for entirely different purposes. It shares no common purpose with the space station.
So is he building electric cars in for carbon credits for his rocket?
Is he? What about the cars, Steve?
I said, it was a joke. Is he building them for carbon credits to offset his rockets?
I don't know how carbon credits work, but he is pouring money from Tesla into the Starship and SpaceX. Starship and SpaceX are his main goals for existing. And
one thing's for sure, Tesla, his cars are sure selling.
They are.
There's a darn bunch of them around here.
Yeah, Tesla tried to hire my brother for about a year.
Well, let me ask you guys something. You are all more savvy on the internet than I am. Let me ask you to look out for something for me. The next time one of now I've forgotten the guy's name. The guy that does the kit, Walter Umlin. Next time you see a Walter Umlin Colossus kit come up for sale, somebody please let me know. I want one. I've been wanting one. I've missed 2 that came up on Stunthangar. I think it was the same one twice, but I'm trying to get one. I want to build one of those planes. And everybody says if you're going to build a kit, build an Umlin. Well, I'm trying, but I'm still scratch building. I don't know. I got 3 scratch built projects going right now, and when I finish those, I'm trying to finish 4 planes, and I'm trying to finish building 2. I guess you could say 3 because one of them's there's so much left to do. It feels like I'm still building it. And
Walter drops in here occasionally. Maybe he'll come in here and you can talk to him about it.
When I get done with this, I'm gonna break down and build a kit. I just hadn't decided which one it is yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be a Colossus. Have no idea what it is about that airplane I like so much, but I want to build a Colossus. Just a nice looking plane. I saw Gordon's at the Nats about 5 years ago, so I'm blaming it on Gordon.
Well, how many times did he win Classic with that plane?
2, I think.
2
or 3.
Times.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think he won at least 2 with that plane, and Bob Hunt won 3 with the Caprice and then turned around and won 5 VSCs with it. He said they finally told him if he brought it back, they were going
Damn.
to have to hurt him 5 in a row, Rusty. They told me if he brought it back, he's going to have to hurt him. So I think he sold it to somebody. But he's building a new one. And I saw the motor crutch article tonight on how he builds his motor crutch. Daggone, boy, that man can build.
Oh, is it model aviation?
Oh, it was in Stunt News. It was in Stunt News.
It's what?
It's in Stunt News 6/17/2017.
I don't
It's an
think
old
he
article.
ever
I just
writes
saw
to
it.
model aviation anymore.
No,
I always heard it was a great flying airplane.
gave it up for daily. I got to fly one.
Oh, you just got
at
around to
Nats.
it.
I got to
Yeah.
fly one at Nationals about 6 years ago, and I can't remember whose it was, whether it was Roger Wildman's, who was a heck of a great guy. But I can't remember if it was Wildman's or if it was, I want to say it was another one we lost to cancer, and I can't think of his name. He's an older fella. But anyway, I got to fly a Caprice. And when I landed it, Bob Hunt walked up and he said, "What'd you think?" I said, "You do have plans available, right?" I want a set. And I have one of his wing kits downstairs and everything to build that one. Haven't gotten to it yet. Last 4 years I haven't done much any. I'm just getting back into modeling, really. Rusty can tell you, I've flown one contest a year for the last 2 years, and that's been the Huntersville contest, which is my home contest. But we're having a lot of fun. I saw some pictures of Samantha and Steve on there. Steve didn't look so hot, but Samantha looked good. She was smiling. He's always got his back to. Huh?
Where?
You were, I think, at the Nationals. You had a plane upside down. You were working on it, but Samantha's sitting there smiling like a Cheshire cat, and you had your back to the camera. I said, "Well, they got Steve good side."
That's my best angle, is my back.
Okay.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
I tell you what, Samantha looked good, but she always looks good. She was a cute kid, and I bet she's a doll now. I haven't seen her in about 4 years, I guess.
She looks about the same. I mean, she cuts her hair still the same, and so.
That's a woman.
She will be 20 years old Monday, a week from today.
Oh, Lord. Well, I tell you what makes me feel old. I've got a grandson that's 24. Oh, and he's big and strong. I ran my lawnmower off into the ditch out here. I got a John Deere lawn tractor, and I couldn't back it out, and I couldn't pull it out. And I got my rope out, and I was going to hook it to the back of my pickup truck. Michael pulled up, and he said, "Papa, what are you doing?" I said, "Michael, duh, I'm trying to get the lawnmower out of the ditch." He just looked at me dumbfounded, went over, picked it up, walked it out of the ditch, and set it down.
You remember when you could do that?
No, I never could. That lawnmower, I looked it up. That lawnmower is 583 pounds, and it's awkward as heck. He grabbed 2 rags and grabbed that thing up and just picked it up and took it out of that ditch.
Big boy.
He is a big boy. When I hug him, I can't get my arms around him, and it's like hugging an oak tree.
You got to hug him.
I do not want to be the man that makes him mad. He works for his father wrestling concrete. They're concrete finishers. I don't want to be the guy that makes him mad. If somebody makes him mad, I don't care who they are. I'm getting out of the way.
My dad used to call somebody that size, you couldn't hug them all in one shot. So
yeah.
He said, "You hug and chalk. You hug and chalk off where you got."
Yeah. Grandma gets on one side of him. I get on the other side and we hug him. He's a big boy. He's almost as tall as I am. He's about 6'2", and probably weighs 240, maybe a little more than that. I don't know. But he is a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty big dude yourself.
Do what? Do what, Steve?
So it has to be something the kids are eating.
You're a pretty big dude yourself.
Yeah,
they're
eating.
He is.
Well, I'm the little one in my family, Rusty. My little brother was 6'4". I mean, I'm sorry. My little brother was 6'6". I'm 6'4". My older brother's 6'8". Don really is a big guy.
Turn your car over if he gets mad at you.
Yeah, that's one of those, like that movie. Go tackle that car. He could probably do it. Both of my brothers were, Bert's gone now, but my older brother is a big, strong son of a gun. And
What was that movie with Clint Eastwood and
that's it.
Orangutan?
Yeah.
Clyde?
Yeah. Left
Trash
turn,
the caddy,
Clyde.
Clyde?
Right turn.
Yeah, right turn, Clyde. Bam. Oh man. I tell you what.
A friend of mine, he's about 5'9", I guess, and his wife was like 5'3". Their son is 16 and is already 6'5", and is weird as shit. He got all his height because
That's hard to believe.
his dad was about, his grandpa was about 5'9", 5'10", right in there and stuff. And there's no real height.
I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
Somewhere there was
When I retired,
something hiding in the wood pile.
My wife
Yeah.
is 5'3".
good grief. When I retired, I went to work delivering a parts truck. I got bored sitting around 6 months. I said, I'm gonna go back to work till my wife retires because I'm tired of being here by myself. I went to work at Modern Chevy, and I'm in there one morning getting a cup of coffee, and I thought we were having an eclipse. And I turned around, Fred Fowler behind me.
Yeah.
One of those things like what y'all would say you do with me. I turned around and said, "Man is wide, and he's 7'1".
Whoa!
Fred was a big boy, but he was a gentle giant. He loved Corvettes, and I said, Fred, I got to ask a question. He said, what's that? I know you love Corvettes. You got the first Corvette that came into Winston-Salem. In fact, the first one in North Carolina. He's got it in the back of the warehouse back there up on blocks, and it's gorgeous. It's 50. Everybody thinks 59, but it's a 53, I think, 53, 54, something like that. Anyway, he still got it. There ain't no way in the world Fred can get in that car. I said, what in the world? He says, I just loved it, so I bought it. He said, I've never been able to drive it.
Oh, that's
But
a shame.
yeah, well, I did one stupid like that. I fell in love with a Bug Eye Sprite. Anybody remember those?
Oh yeah.
I remember those.
I had to have one, so I bought one, and I took it and I put it on jack stands, and I put MGB,
Casting the shadow.
yeah, and Triumph parts on the thing, all suspension, and a 1600cc motor in it, and all this. I wasn't gonna drive it till it was done. I got it all done, and I got up and I had the top laid down. I was gonna take it around the neighborhood one time because it didn't have tags or insurance on it yet. I got in this thing and had to put leg on each side of the steering wheel and just kind of slide into that puppy. And I backed it off the trailer and took it right around the block. I was so happy with myself. I got back to the house and there was no way I could get out of that car. I had to get my neighbor to go get me he called it a spanner wrench. It was just
I think 54's first year. Something like that.
yes, 53 or 54 was first year. Anyway,
53 was first year.
yeah, 6-cylinder with 3 deuces.
That's it. You know how
That was
much
a
those
cool-
are worth today?
A bunch, especially if it looks like a brand new one, and this one does. It ain't seen the light of day in 40 years. Anyway, I had to take the steering wheel off and set it aside to get out of the car.
Wow.
Put the steering wheel back on, bolted it down, and I said, well, now what do I do? Mama says, for sale. I said, yeah, I guess. So I ended up selling my little car.
Hey,
But-
you remember the old chain? It looked kind of like a chain link belt. It was all metal, and they pivoted or whatever.
Yeah.
It was big in the late '80s and early '90s. Well, I went to see George Jones at the Ionia Free Fair, and we're standing in line. And there was another concert going on, and it got over, and we're standing there. People are walking out, and I kind of look to my right, and at eye level, here's this chain link belt going by me. I'm like, holy shit! I look up. There's John Sally.
Yeah.
His arms were bigger than my head, and he looks skinny on TV compared to them other guys.
Yeah.
Then Dennis Rodman walks by, and Rodman's arms were as big as my legs. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! But them guys are just giants, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
what would Shaquille O'Neal look like in person?
shack is huge. I have met him one time, and he is huge. I met, well, you don't have any trouble meeting Michael Jordan. He's as nice and approachable as anybody you're ever going to meet. He's got a place on Baden Lake. I won't say the house is large, but it's got 13 chimneys. 13. I kid you not.
Damn.
You drive through his basement. You drive in one end and out the other. He says, I've had several accidents, and every one of them is
that's one of
backing
the
up.
biggest guys I've ever seen.
He's a large dude. When he was playing, I thought he was just tall. Well, when he got out of college, I met him. He and James Worthy came to AT&T where I worked at the time. I worked for James' little sister, Sheila Worthy. And they came in with a bunch of pizzas and fed 36 people on that crew. And we all got to meet them and get their autographs and all this stuff. Both of them just really, really nice people. And they're both still that way, as far as I know. I know that Michael Jordan is. He's just nice as he can be. But he is a large dude. How he gets in a Corvette is beyond. I met him one time and I said, Michael, how do you get in a Corvette? He said, a little bit at a time. I said, yeah, I believe it.
You're talking about big houses. When I grew up as a kid, I grew up on a dead-end road.
You're talking about Michael Jordan?
Yes, sir. He's got a house on Baden Lake out on the point where I like. That's my favorite place to fish. Is that point, because it's got drop-offs, it's got ledges. I can sit out there and ledge fish all day and whoop you, and I hadn't even cranked a big motor, but 5 minutes out there and 5 minutes back from Circle Drive landing. So I burnt no gas, and guys that go with me hate it because they all go thinking I'm going to fish shallow because I'm known as a flip fisherman. But I like crankbaits. If I've got a ledge, I'll fish a crankbait all day. And we went out there and just wore them out and got through. And we noticed there's some guy over here looked like he's watching us. Couldn't figure out what's going on. I said, well, it's probably, I know whose house that is, so it's probably one of his security guards or something. He's over. So I finally trolled over that way, and it's Michael. He says, I got to ask a question. He said, what's that? He said, I'm not much of a fisherman. Well, what the heck are you using? You're catching fish every 10 minutes. Nobody does that out here. I said, Michael, that's because everybody wants to fish it like it's shallow and it's 30 feet deep. You fish a deep diving crankbait below a weight. You put a weight, the weight takes the crankbait down, and then you fish it along, and the crankbait's not really what's making it dive. It's the weight. And I said, just fish the ledge. Just fish the parallel to the ledge and fish it. He said, well, I don't know what you're doing, but you've been pulling more fish out of there than anybody's pulled out of there all summer.
So, you tell them to get in, they get in, I'll show you.
I tried to get him to come. He said, I ain't got a license for that. Besides, I like being next to the water, but I don't know about being on it. But anyway, he's a really nice guy and a big dude. But he's really, really nice. But he is he's just very, very friendly. And he's not, everybody thinks, well, he's so standoffish. No, he's not standoffish. There's just so many people that try to make something out of everything he does. He's very cautious, at least till he gets to know you. But he's just so nice.
That's what I thought. See, I've never met him, but that's what I thought that he was. But I was mistaken, apparently.
He's just real nice. He's just really nice. People like that, he says, there's always somebody looking to sue you. If you've got money, there's always somebody looking to be offended or looking to find a way to sue you.
Everybody probably wants to talk shop too, you know. And I like to, talk about, life, the weather, and everything else with people. Just general chit chat, and a lot of people appreciate that you don't want to go right into talking shop with them.
Yeah. He says, what's the question? I said, what do you mean? He says, everybody's got a question they want to ask me. I said, well, I only got one question, Mike. How in the world does a man your size walk through the air the way you do? Because you're a big dude. He said, you run fast, you jump hard and high, and you let your weight carry you. I mean, just honestly, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And I got thinking, because in college, I was a broad jumper. So he did just what I did. He just stretched up through the ball. But the man is just so nice and so talented that it's amazing. He's a great guy. He's one of those people I would love to know a lot better than I do. I just know him when I see him, really. But every time I've met him, several times, but every time I've met him, he's just a great guy. Several of those guys are.
When
Richard
I was
Petty.
a kid, we grew
That's
up
good
on
to
a
know.
street that was 800 feet long.
Yeah.
They had a sign up there that said, road ends 800 feet. My buddy is a big time carpenter and stuff, and he worked on Betsy DeVos's house.
Oh, brother.
Her house is 800 feet long, the same length as the street that I grew up on.
Good Lord. I'm
They
still
got
trying to
an
figure out
indoor
what does
road.
anybody need with that much house?
They have an indoor road, like it's enclosed in the back of the house, so they can drive golf carts from one end to the other in both directions.
If I ever get so rich that I feel I have to have a house that I can't walk from one end to the other of, unless I'm crippled or something, somebody shoot me. That's ridiculous. How can you? Why you want to heat and cool something you can't even walk to the other end of? That's ridiculous.
That's their winter house. They got a summer house that on Lake Michigan, but yeah, my buddy said, he goes, that's the biggest house I've ever seen in my whole life.
That's pushing the size of Biltmore. I've been there many times. That's supposed to be America's largest home, but
well,
I don't know
her
how long
husband's a billionaire, and she's probably a billionaire too from the Prince Corporation. So
yeah,
they ain't hurt for any cash.
Don't sound like it. I just don't want a house that big. That's ridiculous. If I had a whole bunch of money, I'd probably have a whole bunch of cars, which is probably why the good Lord never let me have it. But I'd have to have
I always wanted a 25 car garage with a Chevelle in one bay and a Charger in the next bay, and just
me too.
on down the list I could think of, So,
I got thinking about it, and I think the only four I want right now, if I were to do it right now, everybody thinks I'd go buy the old 70 stuff because I had a Charger and I had a Challenger. I had a Hemi Challenger convertible. I had a 71 Duster. My wife had an AMX, Javelin AMX. We've had a lot of nice cars. The Roadster.
AMX was an underrated car.
Oh yeah,
that
AMX
was a good car.
The reason we got rid of, the only reason in the world we got rid of her 72 AMX, I didn't know what the motor was. I thought I'd go to try to get parts for. We lost a freeze plug, and I kept trying to get a freeze plug for it, and I was trying to get a part for an AMX motor. Yeah. It was a Ford. It wasn't American Motors at all. The motors were all Fords. I didn't know that. 402. It's really a Ford 390. That just
I didn't know
that made me. I didn't either. Their 304 was actually a Ford 302. And I didn't know that. It just made, once I sold the car, I found out about it about a month later. I went and tried to buy the car back. And he said, no, I ain't no fool. I ain't selling that car.
What model year was that?
72. Hers was a 70. She had a red 72 with the white panel roof, vinyl panels that were only so big of vinyl. And then it had that aerodynamic spoiler at the back of it. It was the last one they built to go Trans Am racing. Last AMX they built it. No, they didn't. They built a 74. But it was a beautiful car. It had a dashboard that was just wrapped around the driver. And then the passenger, the dashboard was up at the windshield. I mean, there was nothing. Your feet were under the dashboard, and it was right there.
My brother-in-law had a pair of best twins. They were both teachers at Midland State, and they taught automotive. And it's Don and Ronnie Scott, and one of them had a purple Javelin, purple metal flake Javelin, and the other one had a white Matador AMX Rebel machine.
Yeah,
and
red,
that was
white,
the one
blue.
with the tachometer on the hood, and those were two of the badassest cars I ever saw in my life.
Well,
and
those were actually Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler got together and helped them come up with those cars to try to save American motors. That was the idea behind it. It had Ford motors in it. They had General Motors was making the interiors at that time. Chrysler was making the electronics, gave them electronic ignition and all that stuff, which nobody could get, but they had it. Chrysler had it, and AMX had it. But they tried their best to save American motors, but they had just gone so far down they just couldn't bring them back. But
Yeah.
they were great cars, but nobody knew it. Everybody thought they were junk, so they wouldn't touch them. But any of the guys that got them
They
now,
make
man, they're great cars.
They made some butt ugly stuff too, like the Pacer, you know.
The Pacer, the
It
Gremlin.
turned people off, yeah.
Oh yeah, they
Fishbowl.
made some nice ones. I mean, they made some nice ones.
My buddy had a Gremlin with a big ass V8 in it, and I don't know if that was a 402 or whatever.
No, 304. 304.
No.
Yeah, that they would scream. I forgot what they call that
That's
thing.
a great combination. I used to see one at the racetrack once in a while.
I
used to have to race one at the racetrack.
It was like a Gremlin X or something like that.
That's what it was. Gremlin X.
Yeah.
Four speed with a 304 4-barrel Ford. And if you knew what you had and you would just go get the Ford parts to go in it, the twin point distributor, dual point distributor, and the
dual point,
the new camshaft and all the stuff, and a set of 302 headers and put on it. One of the guys at school had one of those, and it would scream. I had a Duster I had two Dusters. I had one that was a street car and one that was a race car. And that thing would about keep up with the race car, and it was a street car. But it didn't weigh nothing. They were so darn light.
Yeah, they came with 4 cylinders in them, and they stuck that V8 in there. And I tell you what, that thing was crazy. You get on it and break loose the rear end going, 50 miles an hour, and that thing get all squirrely because it had such a short wheelbase. And let me out of this thing.
Yeah, that was the only thing
it
about
did
this.
have some wheelbase, you're right.
They had one. There's a car that comes to good guys a lot. I didn't think I'd ever see him again when we quit having good guys in Charlotte, but he came to Raleigh last year as a Pacer. Got to be the butt ugliest car ever built. It looks like a fishbowl on wheels.
Right.
The Wienermobile.
Yeah, but he had a dadgum, I think it was a 383 stroker Chevy motor in that thing, and a 6-speed. And I mean, he's rumbling around that place, just sound like he's drinking 5 gallons of gas a minute. And everybody wanted to buy that darn thing. But I'm trying to figure out.
He was on Jay Leno with that. They raced the Gremlin X. That the guy even put a bigger motor in it. It was going to be the quickest AMC made ever, or ever raced or whatever.
Yeah, they tried to do that, and Craig Breedlove showed up with pictures of the old AMX that they built in '69 with a 427 twin cam and all that crap in it with a blower on the front. He says, "I don't mean no harm, guys, but you got a ways to go, and I've still got the time slips." So Craig Breedlove didn't play. He was the guy that built Spirit of America Sonic 1, and he and his wife set a bunch of records.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
How's your fuselage coming? This is for John. How's it?
Yeah.
I got mine this far, but I'll tell you what, John. All your laser cut parts fit perfectly to the plan. It is fuselage they've done. So even the cutout's the right size, but it ain't even the right place or whatever. I'm gonna have to call and tell Parker, who's ever machining these, whatever they use to machine it with is not right. And I'm gonna have to cut down to 1 3/4 inches because going to their fuse and sand and everything, it's 1 7/8 inches. That's not even 2 inches.
That's part of building out of a box.
Maybe they're rounded
you know
out.
what I mean?
You have to figure the radius of the cutter or something.
Yeah.
I always
looks
consider
good,
that just part of building out of a box. Stuff like that you have to re-engineer.
That's a good look.
I'm never
You got your
surprised.
chance there, Jerry.
That's a pretty thing.
It's going to come out good, but I'm wondering if the engine isn't low because this is high.
Doesn't look right.
Now, so I'll fly it or whatever, but I'll just let them know that the fuselage is wrong.
What are you talking about? The thrust line of the engine and the lead edge of the wing aren't on the same plane?
Well, what it is, you put in your engine bearers here, and that's all machined in there. Well, then when you go with your doubler, the doubler doesn't match. It should be.
Can you fit your engine in there?
Yeah, the width is right, but the bottom is low and the top is low on the plan.
Just get you a little bit of that material that the doubler came out of, cut a strip and glue it on there.
Yeah, I can glue that on. It's just, trying to figure out. You can see on his how much higher that fuselage should be.
See, I had to add a little piece of plywood right in here because the engine bearer was,
Yeah, I just decided to round mine off instead of scabbing wood in and trying to get this radius, because that's all wrong. And it's like, well, I'm just gonna round mine, and it is what it is. But I'll let John know that who's ever machining them, they're not machining stuff in the right places on the plan. I don't think
fit the plan, right?
Yeah, your stuff lays on the plane, it fits perfect. But you just gotta move shit around and do stuff to make it work out.
I should be highlighting y'all when you hold stuff up to show. Sorry, YouTubers, I have not been. I've been sleeping on the job. You guys can highlight it yourself and make it big, but the YouTubers can't do that. So I'll try to be better about showing the big picture when y'all hold it up apart to see.
But the bottom of the airplane, it's fine. It's just the machining of the top and stuff. But everything else lines up on it. So
well, it's looking good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. That's just pinned on right now, and
yeah, you just got that tacked on.
Got everything glued. It's drying right now, so got all that together. And I was gonna say I could put the engine in that way. That's kind of a neat looking airplane too.
Yeah, right.
You're slacking, Rusty. You're slacking.
Oh Lordy.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta ask Charles a question. Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
Did you get those plans printed out?
Yeah.
Not yet. When I go to work,
I'll
probably get them printed out.
I'm getting on ball now.
So you have something to tell me?
Okay, Charles. I just was curious.
Yeah, it's been so hot here. I've been staying in and working. Yesterday on the news, they said we had the same temperature and humidity of in Louisiana.
5,000%.
Oh my God, it was 76% humidity or whatever, and I'm like, how do them people live in Louisiana?
It's hard to breathe.
I mean, I walk to the mailbox and it's like, holy
a lot
shit.
of things.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Hey, you think it's bad over here? Go to Houston. That's even worse. That's like double than what it is over here.
No kidding. I mean, it's. I don't see how the guys work in that kind of weather. Or we're working on that boat, and I sweat so much in 3 hours that my underwear were even wet. My jeans were completely soaked. I mean,
now come on, Steve. That you're just hiding something there.
Tennessee ain't no walk in the park, fellas.
Steve, I can tell you, I sweat so much in the last few weeks at different jobs to where you ever seen your steel toes wet to whenever you walk, you see the sweat flying off your steel toe boots?
No.
Yeah.
Holy.
That's how much I've been for.
Wow.
That's why I like living in the desert here. It's a dry heat.
Yeah.
Man, it was so hot here the other day. I let
How hot was it?
I let one rip, and I didn't know if I crapped myself or just blew sweat off my butt.
That's how it was with me. I mean, it was just running into my damn pants and soaking my pants and everything else. And I was like, oh my God, it's just crazy. It was that hot.
That is hot.
We get in the 90s here and stuff, but we never get, usually we think high humidity is 65 or 67, but when it's 76% humidity, I mean, I forget if it got down to 72 degrees, it would have rained outside.
Yeah.
I mean,
90 degrees feels like our 75 degrees.
Yeah,
Degree
that's
day
just
out
wet.
here.
We did a job in New Mexico. Oh, I think last September, and it was like not in the low 90s, but it felt like 80 degrees. It felt great. 80 degrees over here. You open the door, stick your head out, you sticky and sweating flat out. Even right now, you go outside right now, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I know one time the AC went out on the tractor trailer that we were headed to California in. And so we stopped at a Riders in Las Vegas. And everyone talks about the dry heat. It was 108 degrees, and I don't give a shit how dry it was. It was so hot, you couldn't stand it. I mean,
yeah,
it
it's so
was like,
hot, but at least your sweat evaporates.
and then
Cools off a little.
yeah, but even that couldn't evaporate the sweat fast enough. I mean, there was a cloud in the sky, 108 degrees with the sun hitting us, because we thought we'd walk to a restaurant, get something to eat.
Yeah, big mistake.
And we're like, holy shit, will we die of heat stroke walking back to that damn place? Because by the time we got there, we're like, you couldn't breathe. It's like there was no oxygen in the air or something. It was so thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was living
that's probably like it was when I went to Saudi. I was in Saudi Arabia one time, and they said, "Oh no, Saudi Arabia, it's a dry heat. It's a dry heat. It's not humid." Yeah, it's a dry heat. I can equate it to whenever you have something cooking in the oven and you want to go in and check it. So you're in the kitchen, you open the oven, and it just goes whoosh.
Yeah.
That's what it was quite literally like.
Yeah, that's where
I know when I was living in Door County, Wisconsin. That's right up. Some of you know where that's at. So it's right on Lake Michigan. You got Lake Michigan one side and Green Bay the other side, and it's a peninsula. And I remember one year I was doing drywall contracting, and it was like 98 degrees and 89% humidity.
Oh.
And
That's
I was working
That's
on
crazy.
a house that was right next to the Lake Michigan side. It was right on Lake Michigan. So I went out, I was all hot and bothered, whatever. I went out, jumped in the water. Well, the water felt like it was like 65
80 degrees. That could.
And I come out, and I swear 2 hours later, I was still wet.
Yeah, this heat's hard, but people, people who don't live very far north or don't go up real far north, when you go outside and it hits you when it's really cold and the snow is squeaking under your shoes, that does the same thing with your breath. I mean, you can't take a deep breath of that really cold air.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Canadian.
True enough. And you throw a cup of boiling water, and you throw a cup of boiling water in the air, and it doesn't even hit the ground. It freezes before it hits the ground.
Yeah.
Speaking of Canadian,
have you ever been, Steve or Len? Have you ever been where you get these crystals on the tree that are growing on the tree? And you go outside and you go like that, and they just tinkle, they all start falling down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Seen lots of that up here.
The humidity, it starts growing it. I've seen it on the mirrors of my truck and stuff too, where the humidity.
What do they call it? Hoarfrost or something like that?
Hoarfrost. That's right. It's hoarfrost. That's exactly what it is.
I had one that was pretty frosty too.
We don't have to worry about that tonight.
A little warm there?
Just a little. Oh my God.
Len, I think you're south of Steve, aren't you?
I don't know.
About straight across, I think.
But yeah, we're about level.
Oh,
We're on the level.
Steve, where are you then? I thought you were in Detroit.
No, I'm Grand Rapids on the opposite side of
Oh,
the state.
okay.
Straight
Well,
across, yeah.
The last time I was up there, I was headed for Upper Peninsula, Houghton. No joke, they got a sign on the side of the road, and the Highway Commission went along with this. Houghton, 12 miles, end of Earth 4.
Houghton that ain't even north. You gotta get up a lot higher to get to
Yeah,
north.
but I mean, Houghton's a postage stamp, man.
Houghton is
Houghton is
known for tremendous snowfall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the only thing there is a college, and everything up there there's so much rock that they can't get the water lines down deep enough. So when it really gets cold, everybody's water freezes up. So you take a shower at the college. Beats all I ever seen.
Well, you get on 94 headed towards Detroit, and you'll pass a sign on the road that says "Climax 1 mile," but my ex-wife wouldn't go along with it.
All right, now I got to tell.
But
I
did
gotta
you?
tell a dirty one. I got to tell a dirty one. We had a few years ago. I was still running the sports car club local and doing rallies, and my thing was autocross. Tom Dixon and I both liked autocross, but I did a rally. They had a rally. They said, we're going to surprise everybody. We've got a rally next month, and we're going to start at this point. And they just gave you an address to go to. It was a parking lot. The address was in Hornytown.
Oh my
I ain't
God.
kidding you. It was the Great Hornytown to Climax Rally. We went from Hornytown, North Carolina to Climax, North Carolina.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
And at the end of the day, we all felt like we'd been screwed because it was an awful rally. It was awful.
Did anybody get to finish?
Oh
So-
yeah,
so-
we all finished. We all finished, but the whoever laid the thing out, you know, they have time stamps on it. You're supposed to be here in 2 minutes. There's no way you could do that. Get some of those distances in 2 minutes, and other times it didn't take but a minute, and you know it'd be a minute off everywhere you went. So everybody was off. All the times were off. So we figured we're 10 minutes off, man. Let's just go ahead and putter in. I know where this thing ends. It's bound to.
Oh my God.
So we went to the finish, and they checked us in. We were second.
Wow.
He said, everybody's at least 30 minutes off. It's just all screwed up. We were 10 minutes off, and we were second. I thought, good grief. We got a trophy. I didn't even think I thought they'd be, but no. But Wade Austin, the guy I was riding with, he was the driver. He just looked at me, and he says, sometimes you're the bear, and sometimes you're the rabbit.
So
Think
You didn't
about
have
that.
Captain Chaos as your partner, was it?
Well, Wade could be described as Captain Chaos. I'm telling you.
You know what I'm referencing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so with Hornytown and Climax, so where's the great city of intercourse at?
Pennsylvania, and you can
I'm
go.
not-
And you can have.
There,
And you can
I was
have a
going to
rally
say,
between intercourse and blue balls.
Ah,
yeah.
That's in
I was
Pennsylvania. as well.
going to say, I have pictures of a sign that's the city of intercourse,
Oh,
and I have seen blue balls. I have seen that town. Like I say, I used to be an actual service tech, and every time I'd see something like that, I'd take pictures, and I had a poster board with all the weird pictures on it.
Stuff must have meant something different back in the day when they named
Yeah.
no, it didn't.
Well, I tell you what, I was driving out to my brother's place. He lives in Arkansas. And if you're going from North Carolina to Arkansas, you just go straight up I-40. Just straight up I-40. When you get into Arkansas,
just fix the electrical.
yeah, in fact, I think you're still in Tennessee. You're going across there, and you see this big building. And along the side of the building, it says TOADSUCK, Toad Suck.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought, what the heck?
Yeah, they got a lot of sucks up and down there.
I pulled off side
Got
of the
it.
road, took pictures. I thought it was a joke. It's
We
an
got a
old
town called Bucksnort, too.
Yeah, it's an old English, it's an old Indian word that means a low point in the river where a river
Yep.
crossing is literally what it
Yep.
meant. Toad
I
suck.
thought maybe somebody was licking toads, you know?
I did too. I was wondering what was going on. But we looked it up, and it was actually, in fact, I think we stopped somewhere and asked, what the heck? Why would anybody put that on? Because that's the name of the town.
Yeah.
The town formed around the toad suck. Around the what? He said around the toad suck. I said, what the heck is a toad suck? He said, it means river crossing in, I can't remember what Indian dialect it was.
Yep.
It's not Cherokee. I think it was Blackfoot, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
we got
They
towns and
have a
stuff
bunch of
up here.
sucks. They have a bunch of sucks in Alabama too.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Well, that's like
I've got a bunch of friends in Alabama. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
No,
Well, that's
I know
like-
exactly what you're talking about. What the hell is a suck?
yeah. I mean, we got towns around here that were Indian names that were changed, spelt some damn way because they thought that's what it means.
Yeah.
But that's like Yankee. That's an Indian word, Yankee,
Mhm.
and it was some kind of a mush they ate,
Yeah.
and the Indians named it Yankee, and then Yankee came out of it. But yeah, it's the same thing here.
Well, yeah, up there in Minnesota, even in Florida, a lot of the lakes are named after their Indian names.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, speaking
Tallahassee.
of suck, have any of you guys run into that suck at the third
Yeah,
quarter of the
Family
hour?
room friendly.
I was talking about air suck. That sucks you down into the ground.
I hadn't heard of that one. Don't know about that one.
That's when you lose lift. You try to turn the corner too hard, and you kind of belly flop onto the ground.
Been there, done that. Ripped my tail off twice.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I tell you what,
Sucky.
the first year I went to the Nationals, I saw Al Raby doing a wing over with the apparently I'm talking too loud. Al Raby doing the wing over with the Sea Fury. He turned the corner, the plane landed, took off again, and he still won the Nats that year with that plane. I'm telling you what, that was back then, guys. For y'all that hadn't been around forever, that thing had a 6-inch front end, 6-inch round front end, a Tiger 60 engine, and nobody was doing that back then. 46s and 35s ruled. Here comes a man with a great big round airplane. Everybody said it was a pickle barrel because it did resonate like one. And he goes out. Everybody's laughing at him for trying something so audacious. Then he goes out and flies it, and you look at his scores, and they quit laughing.
Yeah, big hurry.
He could fly, man.
That's the airplane. That was the airplane he was flying when Dennis had a mission. Got the Walker Cup trophy.
Yeah.
Dennis won the Walker Cup.
Yeah. I'm
The
telling
bees
you
that
what,
we're back on airplanes. I got me a couple of bags of goodies the other day. I don't know if you can see them or not.
Some top flight
PowerPoints.
Nice.
So I dug into my repertoire of props to find out what the difference in the weight of the PowerPoints, the Master Air Screw U, and the APC. PowerPoints are 15 grams. Air screws are 20 grams. And the APC tops in at, hold on, where are you going? Come on.
34
It's like 32 grams.
All right.
What size are these?
Light. Yep, wood props are light.
What
What size are they?
10.6.
Wow.
10.6. Now weigh a rev up 10.6. I bet it's lighter than any of them.
I don't have a rev up. All I've got's the only thing I got rev up is on the floor here. It's 9.7.
Oh, okay.
I always like wood props. I always will.
Yeah, I use APC props, but I'm tail heavy.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Speaking of which, I got a whole bag of PowerPoint 10.6 and 10.5 right here. And also just acquired a Rev Up 16.4.5.
Oh, I
Hey,
need
we're
one.
gonna put that
Well, I'm going to tell you that story in a second.
I got a Rojet 90 that would like that.
I've got
I'm
What the
serious.
hell's he got? What
You
kind
throw
of
the
motor
blades
he
off
got
that
for a
thing.
16.4? and a half.
Oh,
Holy
here's
shit.
the
Yeah,
thing.
that's a Rojet 90 prop.
Here's a Top Flight PowerPoint 15.8.
Oh,
I don't know what. It came in a box of crap I got from somebody off of Craigslist or Facebook Market, but I'm like, what the hell is you flying with a 15.8 on it? The weed eater?
Well, don't
right.
Probably
throw
like a
don't throw it away. You can
120,
repitch it.
YS 4-stroke back in pattern when they run them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they ran big props like that on the supercharged 4-strokes.
You can
Here's the
repitch
thing,
that
though.
thing.
I've been after a rev up 13.6 for my Sato 56. My dyslexia kicked in when I was on eBay, and I'm like, oh, what a 13.6 for $7? I'm gonna get that.
Oh yeah.
And then it just dawned on me today while I was at work. I'm like, hold on, that's probably
I'll buy
16 and a half. I need a 13.
You're
I'd
gonna
buy
put a
rev up.
13.6 on a 56.
A 13.6 on a Sato 56 on a T-Rex is money.
You better believe it. A 13.6 rev up on anything is great.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
That's a Zinger 10.6. I want to see what that weighs.
that's an 18.8 break-in prop.
Good Lord, what are you starting, a lawnmower?
That's a 145 Wabra.
Wow.
But yeah, they recommend 18.8 to break it in.
Well, you turn about 10 revolutions.
They recommend those on my Toro lawnmower too.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
Let's see. Let's talk rev ups. This is all rev ups right here. From 7.3, 7.4, 8.3 and a quarter, 8.3 and 3/4, 9.5, 9.6, 10.6 and a half, 11.5 wide, 12.5 wide, 12.5 wide, 12.6, 11.4, 12.6. And here's the monies right here. 10.6 EW, 10.6 W.
Those are nice.
A Brodak
They're
that got
awesome.
mixed up in there. 9.6
You know what?
and a half.
Jamie, you know what the bad thing is about the rev up props?
Yeah, you can't get them
Nothing.
anymore.
Yeah.
It makes you feel so bad when you break one. You're like,
Yeah, really.
son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
you cry for a week.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about it. That's you finally get something that really works, and you realize, crap, it's a rev up. I can't get another one.
Yeah. We had one, I forget what we put it on. It was 11.5 extra wide. Oh, that thing worked so good.
Oh yeah.
You can get another one. You're just gonna pay for it. That's all.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Then trying to get something that worked as good as that, you
Pretty
know.
hard.
Yeah, because I mean, I run an APC 9.5 on my 25 LA on my little Ringmaster. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to try a 9.5 rev up, see how it does on there. That is trash. And it's like, oh my God, that's like one of the worst attempts with a prop I ever had with a Ringmaster. It was,
Okay,
it was
the Zinger 10.6 is 16 grams.
Okay, I'm gonna go down and measure a rev up 10.6.
The Zinger is a good kit for a prop.
Hey,
Best kit prop ever made.
they got to go for.
why is he going to measure a 10.6 prop? It's going to be 10 inches.
I think he meant way.
We'll ask him when he gets back.
There's other 10.
Steve, you're on a roll tonight.
No, that's where you just said. He goes, hold on a minute. I'm going to go measure a 10.6 prop. It's like, well, what the hell you want to do that for?
There you go. 10.6, 14 grams. That's
Oh,
10.6 wide.
I tell you what, that's the thing about those old 10.6 EWs.
Oh, yeah.
Man, put that on an OS 35S and just, oh, you were in heaven. But then you break it and you're sick for a week.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
only thing I found that works as well is
You used to had 35 cents to go out and buy a dozen props for $5. You kidding me?
yeah.
That's blow your mind right here.
A black
A
Grish
BY
10.4 on a 35S is Nirvana. But
Black
you can't
Grish.
hard to get any.
I don't know where you get those anymore. I hadn't seen them in
A
years.
BYO 11.5 is 11 grams.
wow.
I've got
BYL 10.6, 13 grams. But I mean,
Wow.
The bigger one's lighter.
yeah. I mean, it might be a different wood too, because even the grain looks different.
So where are you getting all these damn props? You hitting every single little swap meet and stuff around, or?
That's what he's
That's
doing.
great secret, my son.
That's got to be what he's doing.
Yeah.
We hadn't even had a swap meet this year. They've closed every one of them.
Yeah. Same here.
Every one so far.
I got mine
Not
off
all
eBay.
line off there for no reason.
I'm surprised you guys don't give Exora a chance, because I think they're wonderful props. They're very, very well made, and they make a version for the IC motors as well. Very
Amen.
good stuff.
I'm actually using them.
Amen.
That's
I
what's on
agree.
my plane
Those are
now.
real nice props.
The only thing I don't like about the Zora is I have to order it. I want something I can get locally, but
Yeah.
there's not much. I mean,
No,
I went to the Nats with 3 props, and I busted one into the ground. The second one, I chipped it right away, and I had one to spare after that. But I kind of learned my lesson, and I bought 3 more, so I have them in my toolbox right now. So I don't see the problem over there. Just get a bunch of spare, and the beauty of them is that once you get one that works and you buy subsequent props, they have the same exact pitch, same exact build. They are just identical to the other ones that you had before.
Yeah, the Zora is pretty good. The Zora is one of the few props. It's one of the few props I've bought the last 2 years that when I bought it and brought it home, put it on the balancer, you didn't have to do anything. Put it on the airplane and fly it.
Yeah.
They come pre-balanced.
Rare.
They come
that's rare.
pre-balanced.
Yeah,
They are
that's rare
pre-balanced,
anymore.
yeah. They are pre-balanced. You don't have to do that.
I got used to, you buy a propeller, what you bought is a kit. Now you take it home and you pitch it and you clean it up and you repaint it and get it ready to go on the plane. And then I got that thing and brought it home and I put it on the balancer and I said, well, it's what it's supposed to be. Let's put it on the prop gauge. Wait, it's what it's supposed to be. What's going on here? I didn't know how to act. So I bought.
Well,
I think
some
I
of
got
the
6
old
of them now.
manufacturers, they used to mess with the pitch so you could get more RPMs out of your airplane. When you tapped it on the ground, it's like, wow, this thing runs 300 more RPM. Yeah, don't pull like the other one, but yeah, it'll run 300
That's
more
true.
RPM.
That's true. Well, we needed that when we had Fox 35s and all, because you bogged the darn things down so bad. But once the advent of the snurl ports and all that, and now with the electric motors, hey, load it. It likes it better.
Yeah.
The more you load the darn thing, the more it seems to like it. So I don't know. I'm starting to really like this electric stuff. It's
You have Exor 10.5, Exor 10. Let's see.
How now on the Zoras? How is the hub balance on that?
It's
so far mine's been perfect.
It's
Even on the
nothing
hub,
to do with them, man. Just like you buy them, you open up the hole if you have to, bolt them on and use them. That's it.
Yeah, that's all I had to do.
So
And I
how
checked
was
everything.
that 10.6, Glenn?
The Rev Up 10.6, standard 10.6 was 15 grams.
Oh, you said
The,
you were going to measure it.
The extra, no. Measure the weight. Measure the weight. Come on.
Measure
Come on.
the weight.
Measure the weight.
We were all betting if it was going to be 10 inches or not.
No, I bet you were. The interesting thing, though, is they were all within a gram of each other. Like even the Zinger was only 16 grams, so it doesn't really matter for weight.
Steve, he's Canadian. He talks a little different.
That's Canadian
No.
weight.
Well, that's
You
guys are.
Oh, first time I went to Canada, I went to buy gas. I looked at the price and said, "Oh my God, let's go back across." I didn't know it was imperial gallons. Oh well.
I want to buy 20 gallons, not 500 liters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you come here, you don't have to pay before you fill either. You can fill it up and then go pay. They trust people here.
Do they don't hear.
Yeah, that's because we've all heard of what your jails are like.
Too many men or not enough women.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. No women.
Yeah, I
No
could
don't wanna
conjugal
go there.
visits. You can see a woman again in 17 years. Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
welcome anyway.
Yeah, don't be stealing that gas.
Really? Really?
Hey, is
Rusty?
that
Rusty got a question. Rusty.
Rusty?
Rusty.
I think he's frozen up.
He's sleeping with his eyes open.
Yeah.
He's frozen.
He's frozen.
He's
up
frozen.
again.
He's gone north again on us. He's frozen.
Yeah. Well, let me ask Taran because I'm headed down that way here before long.
I'll tell you
Are
how
there any
stupid Michiganders are. A guy and I was there at Speedway. The guy stole gas, but before he pumped it, he ran his speedy card to get points.
Oh, brother.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
He ran his speedy card to get
in this day and time, I can believe
then
it.
he took off with like $60 worth of gas.
What's that?
Okay,
Hey, Rusty.
Yeah, I'm listening.
There's Rusty.
Hey, welcome
I'm reading
back.
about SpaceX on the telephone over here.
Oh, okay. Taran, what are there any good hobby shops left in Atlanta?
We have some Hobby Town
Y'all
USA,
can hear me, can't you?
Atlanta Hobbies.
Atlanta Hobby's still there.
Yeah,
That was pretty good last time I went, but that's 15 years ago.
yeah,
I
they
can't
moved
stand-
up further up north.
Yeah, I went to Hobby Town USA last week, and it's some women's apparel place now. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, every time we get a Hobby Town USA anywhere around here, they it seemed like they'd buy up a hobby shop, it'd go Hobby Town, and then a year later it was out of business because the people in it, all they wanted to do was sit and play board games instead of helping the people with hobbies.
Yeah.
And they go out of business, and it finally hit King, and now they're out of business. So we only have one hobby shop left. But
Same thing
They
here
are.
with us.
Yeah, we
They
only
are.
got one too. It's in my basement.
I tell you what, I bet between the two of us, we've probably got one of everything. I've got too much stuff. I bought out too many people, and I've got too much junk. And I get all this stuff together, and I think, well, now I got stuff to build whatever I want to build. Now I'm going electric. Guess who don't have any electric stuff, or not much?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Go figure, eh? Go figure.
That's what
Yeah.
the
You always
closest
want what you ain't got.
the closest
All right.
hobby shop to me went. They sold out and went to Vivid Air, which is drones. So
Oh, yeah.
and they kept some of the airplane stuff.
Do my
Yeah,
electric
I don't
ones.
go over the
Live streaming is on.
Okay, we got to go back to a nice language again.
Everybody behave now.
Yeah. Well, we got easy now. Maintain cool, guys. Golly.
What airplane you got there, Jamie?
I still can't get my camera to work.
Oh no kidding. Is that a ARF or a
It's an ARC
ARC?
that I got from a buddy of mine.
Is that
When I
green
got
and black?
Was that
Is that green and black or green and darker green on the wings?
green and black and white?
Well, it looks nice.
It does.
You're gonna love that plane, Jamie. You're gonna
It's
like
all
that
right,
plane.
but I mean, you can tell the paint cracking.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get you.
You know, so my buddy, he painted it with Krylon and Duplicolor and finished it and with something. But I mean, I paid $150 for the SB11 building the Sector 40 build. I mean, why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
well, since the Nats and all that stuff, and I learned that there no, for whatever reason, there's no build or model rule in advance. I'm like, well, shit, I could have went this year and I could have been flying that the whole time. So
You got a Fox 35 in it?
What, advanced than
Oh,
that?
no, I've
There's
been,
no BOM. There's no BOM in advanced.
There is.
I
Yeah,
thought
there is.
Was.
But you
Advanced
don't,
and
you
open.
don't fly if you don't build it. You just don't get any points.
yeah,
Advanced.
Yeah, but you can't give up. You can't give up 20 points and hope to win. That's ridiculous.
No
way.
No, I know that.
Because your points get doubled. So I think
Yeah, because every flight it counts again. So it's Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I have won, and I have lost contests by 2 points.
Yeah.
Tom Looper and I, for 3 years in old time, in 3 years we were 12 points apart.
Hey, I gave up 25 points on my first flight.
What'd you do?
5 inverted laps.
Oh, Trent.
5 what?
Man, come
5
on.
inverted laps?
Yes.
He only did 5
Oh,
laps, so
Tryon.
he didn't get pattern points.
Hey, Tryon,
Oh.
congratulations on your win, though. That's awesome. Well done.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Funny thing, that was the second highest point in second highest score in the first round, and after the second round, I was in the third highest score with that one.
Hey, doesn't matter what you got then. It's what you got in the end.
There you go.
But that was qualifying, and they throw. Once you make the cut after that, they throw the
Yeah,
scores
you're good
away.
to go.
So I couldn't care less.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
The only thing wrong with that, Trayan, is next year you got to compete with the big guys.
Oh, I'm gonna be like I said, I'm gonna be in a swimming pool, a little swimming pool, with a bunch of big, angry, and hungry sharks.
That's about the way it feels.
Well, you're gonna say like a bunch of girls.
I was talking to oh Lord, I can't even think of his name. And I had just won a contest at Huntersville, and he says, just keep it up, because you win it one more time, we're going to bump you up. And then you go from having all kinds of fun and advanced till you get out here and you put up the best flight you've ever put up, and you finish 5th. He said experts just no fun. He said there's just too darn many good experts.
I don't understand why people think if they don't make the top 3, it's not fun. I don't grasp the concept.
Well, I don't go for I'm not there for the trophies anyway. I just want to go have fun.
I mean, I like to win. I like to win as much as the next guy, but I have fun whether I finish first or last.
Well,
I flew at the Nats in 2012, finished dead last, and I had the best time of my life. And boy, I sure learned a lot.
Yeah,
I got well educated.
The last time I went, I think a couple of you at least were there. Anyway, I went to the Nats, and I'm out flying my Stunt Wagon 60, and I had just laid it over on its back.
Yeah, I just competed against myself.
Yeah, I just laid it over on its back doing the inverted lap and laps, and Bobby Hunt and Bill Werridge hollered at me, and I looked at him next time around and said, "What?" He said, "You're soaking us." I flipped the thing back upright. Just as it came upright, the motor died. There's only one liquid in the thing's fuel. The darn tank had split. And you think anybody around there had a soldering iron? Nobody.
Really? Not even at the hotel?
Well, that night, but it was 20 minutes before the start of old time, so I didn't get. Alan Brickhouse was there. He didn't have one. Jim Lee didn't have one. Those guys always have everything. Nobody had a soldering iron. So
I had one.
I ended up doing a pull test. I was a pull test guy that year. But anyway, I had fun anyway. The next year I went and I got out of the car, and Bobby Hunt was over there with his new Lark. I can't remember the name of the
Mackie Lark?
Yeah, Mackie Lark. And that paint job. He says, "Yeah, I copied your paint job." I said, "Hey, I'm glad you liked it. Somebody liked some of my madness enough to copy it. I'm tickled to death."
Yeah.
I thought that was, to me, that's flattery.
That is flattering.
But it was pretty neat. I went over and looked at his plane, and it was cool. But I've got a checkerboard pattern on my stunt wagon that starts at the lead edge and it just gets bigger all the way back it goes off the tail. It just keeps getting bigger. And Bobby liked it and copied it. I said, now that, to me, that was neat. That was about as high a compliment as I've had at the Nats.
Yes, some people it's all about winning, but with Naomi, she don't care about winning. She married Lynn.
That's right. Unbelievable.
Steve is on tonight.
So, how far does that look to drive to kick your butt, Steve?
I don't know, but I'm going to be waiting.
You can't get across, you know, man.
The Canadians won't let him cross into the United States because the virus here is so bad. So I don't got to worry right now.
So you're
Maybe
safe for
next
this year.
Yeah, you're safe for this year.
But see, Len hasn't been on here in a while, so I had to get the pick on him.
Yeah, he's got to get even. He's got to really take a load. He's got to really get on me tonight.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
Nice one, Steve.
You guys are too many. Wow.
And Steve,
Remind me not to get on
He
your
does.
bad side.
Hey, he does the same thing to me, and he does it in person too. He just does it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're at Brodak and stuff.
Steve and I spend our life busting each other's chops. That's what we do.
Well,
payback's going to be a bugger. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
like I said earlier, sometimes you're the bear and sometimes you're the rabbit.
That's right.
I got a question.
Okay.
Where's Sparky? I haven't seen him since the
Yeah, I haven't either.
I haven't seen him either.
He hasn't done a video or anything.
I haven't seen a video. I was going to say I haven't seen a video all week. Come to think of it.
Maybe he's taken a bit of a break since the Nats. I don't know.
I figured he'd be rubbing out an airplane or something.
yeah, I had a guy.
Do what, Rusty?
We can't hear you.
I had a guy that worked for me one time.
Go ahead, Rusty.
You're popping in and out, Rusty.
I think he's out of sync again.
Yeah, he's way out of sync.
Either that or he's had a stroke.
Nice.
Did you guys watch the top 5 videos that Marcy took?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you notice when Paul Walker did his outside square, he started from his level height, whatever it is, 5 or 6 feet. He started the outside
I
square.
had a guy that works for me. If I got a delay tonight, are y'all able to hear me?
Not very well.
Okay,
Not
I'm
very
going.
well.
You've got a delay.
Back to throw an insult.
But anyway, did anyone notice that? That was so cool. I never saw that before.
He's doing some weird. He did some weird things.
I've been rebooting.
Oh man.
Oh, Rusty, you're a mess.
He's gone.
Rusty's a mess.
Yeah.
Can't get it together.
He needs a new computer.
Oh,
Did
my
anybody
goodness.
ever figure out what got Paul Walker the 0?
Yeah.
I heard he laid his handle down. I heard he changed hands with it. There's no way changing hands should get you a 0. You still got control.
He changed hands. He did not lay it down.
Yeah,
That shouldn't be a 0.
He didn't have his wrong on.
Somebody decided it should be.
You know, from what
Well,
I
that don't
understand,
matter. It's not by the
From
rules.
what I understand, it was going to be his lowest scoring flight, so he didn't contest it. It was going to be his lowest scoring flight anyway.
Okay.
What I understand is
but
that
Peter, he didn't know that at the time. That was his first flight.
I think the rules say that a restraint model, it's when you have your safety thong and the handle in your hand, or the helper is holding the plane.
Well, it doesn't say
So
anything
if he
about
took
the
his
safety thong.
safety thong off and changed it on the other hand, there's no safety thong.
Right. It's
I don't
automatic.
believe it says
Okay.
anything about a safety thong.
That same
So it
thing
has-
happened to Samantha last year. She
That's ridiculous.
ran out her lines and got there to the handle, and because my back was hurting, I had to change positions. She didn't have her safety thong on. She was disqualified because I let go of the airplane, even though she had a hold of the handle.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
As long as you're holding on to the handle with either hand, it shouldn't matter. If you
Well,
put
no,
the
it's-
handle down, I get it.
It doesn't
That's
know
what
how
Fred
hard are you hanging on
That's-
to it. Is it on your fingertips and the plane takes off and zips it out of your hand?
Yeah, but then it is written you have to have that thong on. You have to have your safety thong.
So what's
Rules
the
are
deal
rules.
then if your helper comes in?
Yeah,
and you hand
exactly.
the handle to him and you go in and disarm the airplane. A lot of people do it that way.
Yeah,
That's true.
he doesn't have a safety thong on. Where he gets away with it? There's no difference. It's ridiculous.
Well,
I think that's just my point.
The helper has to disarm the airplane.
No, not necessary. They have to hold the airplane. You can disarm it, but somebody,
yeah.
you
can
either
hold
have
it,
the
put
you
the handle
either
down
have
and
the
come out.
safety thong on and you're holding the handle, or the helper is holding the plane. One of the two must happen.
Yeah.
At
I
all
quit wearing
times.
thongs. I quit wearing thongs because I put them on backwards one time, and when you split the boys up, they don't like
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Tennessee, you're too many, brother.
You know what? I didn't think about that. Samantha could have probably said, "Hey, I had the thong on."
My wife won't let me wear one of
Steve,
those.
don't go there.
I'm gonna
buddy.
remember
Don't
that.
go there.
Steve, the problem with that is that now we're going to start to imagine things, and you're not going to like. You're going to pull your shotgun out.
I just wondered if she
Oh,
said
and
that
you
if
know,
they wanted to
you
prove
were
it.
right on that
Well,
one.
that would be the other thing.
I can't unhear that.
So about the safety thong, I don't think was ever a case when a safety thong saved anybody.
Oh, I've been saved by a safety thong a couple of times.
Samantha was too.
Yeah.
She had
What, you couldn't hold on the plane
she
handle?
came across when she was like 11 years old, come across the circle and jerked the handle out of her hand. And it hit on her wrist so hard, we ended up going to the Muncie hospital because we weren't sure if it broke her wrist. Her wrist all swelled up, and the next day she flew with her wrist and all wrapped and stuff because it was so swelled.
Yep.
So it would have definitely jerked it out of her hand if she didn't have the thong on.
Okay.
And there were people in the other circle. You know, I don't know where the airplane, if it would have, it was headed towards them, but it probably would have crashed before it got to them or whatever. But
you never know.
But once it hit into the lines, it was headed down anyway when it whacked out. And
Yeah.
So
what
it
I
did
did,
crash.
what I did this year, the Nats, I arm it in the pits, I disarm it in the pits, get out of the way and whatever, That's what I did.
I think that's going to be something that the judges at several of the contests have discussed how they're going to do that. They're going to have to make up one rule and stick to it because everybody doing it different is not going to work.
well, that's the same thing we had to come up with at the World Champions and stuff because I always, had the airplane and put the arming plug in, had it with one. And people said, you're supposed to have two hands on that airplane and stuff. So we ended up having to go to where I had it with both hands. She put the arming plug in, hit the button, walked to the handle.
Yeah.
But she
A
put
bunch
the
of
arming
bullshit.
plug
I
in.
mean, if they say that, you can say, "Hey, dummy, here's the arming plug. It's not going anywhere. I don't have to restrain it at this moment. Per rules, mind your own damn business."
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But I always put because I always hung onto the arming plug. And and they said, you ain't really supposed to do that. So it's fine.
Bullshit.
They're just trying to be.
I had both hands on the airplane. She hit it with the arming plug. When she was ready to call, she raised her hand, hit the button, and then out she went.
If they don't know the rules, they have no place judging at the World Championship. They need to get the hell out of there.
But they want the airplane secured. And they were saying with me only with one hand, when I was plugging it in, it wasn't secured because then I let go of the plug and re-grab the airplane. They want
So I guess you can't use a stooge, huh?
And you
That's
don't
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Steve, has Samantha flown the new plane yet?
No.
Didn't you get? She has not.
No.
I want to see what she thinks when she flies that thing one time. That's going to be fun. Plane's bigger than she is.
I hope she likes it. Why?
Hey Jamie, what motor are you gonna put in that thing?
I'm trying to get a Super Tiger 51 in it.
I think you're gonna like that plane a lot.
My buddy had the Evo 61.
60.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe a 61. Yeah, it could be a 61.
That's what he had in it before, and he loved it. He wanted to sell me the motor with the plane, but I don't want to mess with no Evo. And so I had a Super Tiger 51, but the mounting holes didn't match up. So I was making up some aluminum pads. They would have worked out all right, but I ain't got enough room inside to move the motor up enough to pass up the bolt, because then I'm going in a straight balsa trying to mount the pad. So, and this way, at least mounting the motor onto the hardwood, at least the prop will be center in the plane instead of slightly below off center.
Yeah. An old Super Tiger 60 would be a beautiful motor for that thing.
Oh yeah, I know where I can get one.
A new one would be even better.
I mean, anyways, Tiger 60, a Stalker, a Discovery Retro. I think they're all interchangeable in that plane.
Yeah, I think he had the Evo in it, but he had, I think, a Stalker 51 in it as well, and just praised it like it was, the end all be all.
Oh yeah, the Stalker would be a nice option. Obviously, you can put the PAs, the road jets, the whatever, in there.
I'm getting very interested in the Stalkers because you don't have to have nitro, and I can just mix the fuel myself here without having to try and get fuel.
Well, I'll tell you a little trick. Tell you a little secret. Everybody's locally has been talking about this lately, and Tom Looper and I went out and tried it. And everybody says you got to have nitro in the FPs and the LAs and all that. Tommy's not running any nitro in his 25. I'm not running any nitro in mine, and they run just fine. Guess what? They don't have nitro.
They do run good without nitro. You're right.
Yeah, you talk about Tom Dixon. He came to our contest last year, and he wasn't running zero nitro in his 46 LAs, and you couldn't tell a difference between running 1022 or what he was using.
It's just
That's
no
awesome.
problem.
That's awesome.
They run fine. They run a lot hotter. Now they do run noticeably hotter, but that's the way they run them in Europe. They don't have nitro.
Yeah. We're talking about the Tom Dixon or the stock one?
Well, mine is stock. Tommy's has a Tom Dixon in it.
Okay. I have stock LAs, and they run fine with no nitro.
Yeah, they run it. My stock one with no nitro runs like a built one with nitro, a retimed one with nitro. But Tommy's retimed one runs good on no nitro as well. But it's just there's less difference between a reworked one and a stock one on zero nitro than there is when you're running 5%. And if you go to 10%, there's a big difference in them. But they run great. They just run great.
Has anybody tried running a PA or a road jet on no nitro? I have.
The PA runs fine. A lot of times you hear somebody running a PA, and they go out and the thing sounds like it's knocking, and everybody says, I can't figure out what that sound is. Well, throw a head gasket in it. And they put another head gasket in it, and it quits knocking. It was pre-igniting. Well, guess what? If you don't have nitro, you don't have that problem.
Okay.
So
you don't have to put another head gasket in it. You just run one. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I'm running 3 in mine, and so I'm taking one out. I'm going to try it on no nitro and see what happens. The only thing I'm worried about is no nitro does run a lot hotter, so I'm probably going to melt a pipe. That's
okay. But if you're not running a pipe, you're probably safe.
Yeah, but unfortunately, mine that I'm going to try this in is running a pipe, but it's an old pipe. So if I lose it, I'll hate it, but not like I would if I was going to lose a new one. Hey, I've still got an old Bob Hunt pipe that runs great.
Where do you get?
They might call some kind of virus from Rusty. Everything just locked up. I couldn't even get back on Stunt Hangar.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
I got it from Bob. I got my Bob Hunt pipe from Bob Hunt 20 years ago, 30 years, 28 years ago.
Are y'all seeing and hearing me now?
Well,
Yeah, we
I
hear
hear
you, Rusty.
Yeah,
I
but
hear
you
you.
look like one of those
There you
Chinese
are.
Are
folks.
y'all seeing and hearing me now?
Where's that? Who?
Yeah, you and Steve are both there. How about that?
You're in
got
and
two-
out, Rusty.
I got two
Seeing you,
Steves.
Rusty. We're seeing you.
I got two Steves. Everything's screwed up on this end.
Yeah, but
I
you look
got
like
two.
one of those
I'm
Chinese
not
movies.
touching
Your lips
that.
are moving after you say something.
If you got two of me,
Yeah.
you're really lucky, Rusty.
I can't understand
I
what
wasn't
y'all are
going to get
saying.
one of me.
Let's
I
try a
wasn't gonna touch
test.
that one.
Hey, let's try a test. Rusty, raise your hand when you hear this.
Okay.
I don't guess he heard you. Rusty,
Oh,
did you
he's
hear
frozen.
him? Raise your hand when you hear it.
He's frozen.
That was 10 seconds ago.
He's froze up. Oh lordy.
My hand's been up for 10 seconds now.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Your hand
Okay,
just
I
went
did.
up now.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
What a delay. That's a huge delay.
That's like 30
That's like
seconds away or more.
15.
Wow.
Rusty's eating dinner now, but you wouldn't know.
You guys are getting rough tonight. Woo.
Rusty's done with dinner and we didn't know.
I'm gonna.
It's okay. At least he isn't done like dinner.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Oh,
Oh me.
he's gone.
He
He's
gone.
gone again.
Poor Rusty. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a hard time with his computer.
It's
Well, guys,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna get out of here. I got to get up in the morning, get on the highway. So we will see you. I hope to see you Monday night, but it's probably gonna be next Monday night before I see everybody.
Oh,
But have a great one. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves. And
Yeah.
Fran, I'm really looking forward to seeing that new plane at Atlanta. Take care,
Oh,
y'all.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right,
cool.
By the time he's
Bye-bye.
lucky, he'll be a month from now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna head out too, guys.
All right, Tom. Take her easy.
Take it easy,
All
Tom.
right. See ya.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Oh, you got that job?
Oh, why?
Yep, I did.
Good stuff, Tryon.
Where are you working at now, Tryon?
It's called Mora Medical. It's a medical company that makes surgery tools for surgical instruments.
Oh, okay, cool.
I need some more scalpels, man.
Hey, I got one of
Implants,
them.
all that good stuff. Not those. Hi, good night, guys.
Good night.
I had about 300 ready this morning.
As we shrink down.
Well, I think Rusty will be able to get back on once we shrink down.
Hey, Steve, I got you on here twice. What's going on? Once
You're
you're
lucky.
dead.
Oh, most people only get one of me. If you got
Yeah,
two
well-
of me,
Yeah.
you must be paying extra.
It's
Yeah, but one of you is frozen, though.
If you see two Steves at an election booth, then be worried.
I can't have trouble dealing with one. I don't need two. I don't know what I'd do. I don't think I could afford all the Mountain Dew.
That's for sure. That's a burn. That's a burn.
Oh, man.
That's for damn sure. Me and my Mountain Dew.
Oh, well. Hey,
Oh,
as long as
I
you're
meant to
having
tell
fun.
everybody. John Paris got a hold of me tonight, and he said that primer from Harbor Freight
Yeah,
Right?
worked great.
really
He
fantastic.
couldn't believe how nice it worked. And that's what I thought too.
What's it called?
Primer.
It's called primer.
Nice.
I think it's right here.
Oh, boy.
They call
We're
it
going now.
water there, I think, or hydro. In Canada. Yeah.
You got any primer? You guys see it?
Sandable primer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of it though?
Iron armor.
Iron armor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's by Harbor Freight. It's cheaper and shit. And it works great. But
Jeez,
they make
Charles,
this
it's
and they
awesome.
make an etching primer, but it's the sandable one you want.
Okay.
You guys see this?
Yeah, we see it, Charles.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's because John couldn't get the Napa stuff anymore or whatever. And I
Yeah,
told him
DC
about that.
540.
Yeah. So he went
Cool.
there and got that.
I'm gonna get some year.
Yeah, Dennis Nunez. He's the one
Nunes, yeah.
who told us about this.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Dennis. I haven't tried it yet, but I got some. Now I'll buy more now that I know it's good.
No,
Hey,
I just need a Harbor Freight.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, but you can
It
get
may
sandable
go
primer.
bad before you get a chance to use it if you don't start building a little faster, bud.
I am, man. I am. I got my my mold butt base done.
All right. Cool. Did you show it earlier?
No, I haven't showed it at all. This is the first I've showed it. So this is the base. And I'm going to
okay.
attach some foam to it. And I have a form that I'll use. I have a template for the side view. So I'm going to cut the foam to that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my goal was to have it ready by tonight, but I'll get it done by the time we're done tonight. I'll be done.
Okay. Yeah, you've been on here too much paying attention to us instead of getting your book done.
Yeah, I'm motivated. I got to get this thing ready by October 10th and 11th is the Golden State Stunt Championship.
Okay.
I got.
What time is it there?
Oh, it's 8:38.
Oh, you got lots of time.
Yeah, I got to get ready for this contest.
All right.
It's
flyers all over my garage.
It's 10:38 here. I'm fixing to head out myself.
Yeah, it's only 8:38 here.
It's 11:38 here.
Yeah, same here.
Same here.
So I'll see y'all maybe Friday. I don't know. We'll see. I'm out.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Have a good one.
Stay safe. Stay easy.
Acre, however you can get it.
Yeah. Got me in trouble once.
So Steve, you're attaching these to the fuselage ahead of time?
No, they're pinned.
Ah, okay.
But I pinned them up. I pinned it so I could get the bottom.
Ah.
And then
okay. Because what I figured doing, I was figuring sandwiching these two together and then sanding them sort of to shape before I stuck them on there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I was gonna sand. Yeah, so
pretty hard to sand it after it's on.
I added the bottom piece and got that off. It fits up perfect. So yeah, it was just pinned on there.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, they gotta go on after the wing is in.
Yeah, well, you have to hollow one of them out to make clearance for the control horn.
Yeah, it looks like that cheek cowl you're gonna have to hollow that for the landing gear.
Yes, you do, because you attach the landing gear before you attach that. And that's another thing I'm figuring on sanding before I glue it on there.
I was gonna say something to John. It's like, how do you attach? Because if you ever had anything go wrong, then the wire had to get in there, something loosen up, you're screwed.
Pretty much. I don't know if that cheap, that if you look at the original, somebody's got the on Stunt Hangar. If you go to, I think, classic, the classic model section or the classic, somebody's got the original article, the original construction article for that model. It did not have a cheek cowl. The landing gear. John. The landing gear was attached directly to fuselage. It didn't have that additional cheek thing going on.
Oh.
Ask John now.
Yeah, there he is. I'm gonna
Hey,
try to
John,
see if I can
on
find
the
it.
airplane, when you put the cheek cowl on here, is that attached permanently, or do you use magnets so you can get to the landing gear if you have to, or?
Attached permanently.
Oh, okay, so if you
Let me
bend it
take
or
a
it
look.
opens up, then you're just kind of.
Classic.
All righty.
Here we go. Okay, I found it. Let's see here. Let me see if I can blow this up. There we go. Let me share my screen. Steve, that one, share. Share. As you can see on the original, you can see the landing gear wire.
Oh, yeah?
Right there. Hold on. There you go. See it?
Yep.
On the original, it did not have that cheek cowl.
Right.
Huh.
What did he win with that?
Just about every contest he entered.
The reason the double or tripler's on there is to help stiffen that nose up a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Now you can make a channel in there, set it up so you can bolt it in and just fit right in there if you want. It's depends on how you want to do it, but you don't want to just try to put it on magnets because it's defeating the purpose for it even being there.
Oh, okay.
But, geez, we have plywood doubler. We have the standard plywood doublers and everything else in those. Why would we need anything more than that?
It's a known fact that they do.
Okay. But then, of course, I reinforced mine with some carbon in there on the inside of each one of the plywood doublers.
Yeah. I mean, you could leave it off if you want. It doesn't blend in the nose very well.
No. I agree. It really helps the aesthetics of the nose because then you can put a full nose ring on and it looks a lot nicer. I was just making a comment to Steve that the original, because he said, what do you do if you have problems with the nose gear and something gets loose in there? How do you address it? And I said, well, if I recall correctly, and I was looking at the article that somebody had posted up on Stunt Hangar on the classic airplanes of the original article, it did not have that nose gear wire was completely exposed.
Right. And like I said, you can do that. It just, like on my Mathis Excalibur, I got all kinds of things where it's all, got a little channel and it fits in there, and I cut out for you can do that if you want, but I've never, you take a Pathfinder, that nose gear on a Pathfinder is covered up permanently.
And actually, by the looks of the original construction, the two jet nacelles that are on either side, those are completely hollowed out front to rear. So it's actually, you can look through it and look from front to back and actually see right through the whole the fuselage doublers that are what they call the jet intakes.
Yeah, and you'll notice, I think, look at the top view of the fuselage, that tripler tapers back to where it's to nothing right in front of that jet intake.
Yeah, but yeah, oh geez. Yep.
Yeah, I thought about hollowing out the jet intake, but boy, that really stiffens up the fuselage.
Yeah, I wouldn't hollow it out. I would maybe hollow it out a little bit, but not very much.
Or like you were saying, John, we can turn around and take a carbon tube and just shove it up its butt along the fuselage, not stiffen it up.
Yeah. Thing is with the way he had it built back in the day, and like I say, he entered just about everything he entered, he won with it.
Did he have with this thing all doubled up and stuff, it makes for a pretty short tail. but it's fairly thin. Did he get
Never thin.
that rocking?
I mean, the stab tilt?
Yeah.
Almost all profiles get a stab tilt.
Yep.
Yeah, Cardinals are famous for it.
That's why John said you can turn around and get a piece of, you get a length of carbon fiber tube, the proper size. You can embed that in the back end of the fuselage, and that take care of a lot of that.
Get two and put one top and bottom.
Yeah. How big a tube would you need? Just like what you use for push rods?
Yeah.
It probably smaller because that tail gets rather thin in the back.
Yeah. You could use like probably 3/16.
Okay. Hey, Rusty, can you hear us now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. That's better.
Enough guys get off.
Much better.
You and Charles have to try that one time for him to open up or someone else to see if it affects your computer or your being able to talk and hear us, or if it's just everybody gets on and since you're you're the host, it does.
That seems to be the pattern. When it fills up with more than 8 people, then I start crashing and delaying like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, I got the Starship on too. They're about to test fire it. So.
Okay.
Okay.
But I didn't have it on when I was having all those problems, though. My son keeps texting me, wanting me to look at it, so I'm looking at it now.
Does he work for Tesla?
No, he's works for Nephron Pharmaceutical. He's a chemist here in Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Manufacturing.
Yeah, they tried to get my brother to go to work for him for about a year, and he would not get back in the tool and die. He kind of said he wished he would have once he's seen all the stuff they came up with and everything, but he just thought, he didn't think much about Tesla when they first got going.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't, but they seem to be doing well, especially the Chinese plant. That one's kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, when they were first designing the car, they brought a prototype, took him for a ride in it, stuff like that. But he's like, man, I really don't want to quit a job where I got vacation and seniority and stuff like that and go to work for a new company, because they bought out Riviera Tool and Die, which is the second biggest die shop in Michigan. And they're all still working there. So, but
if you're good, it's a good job. But Elon specifically said, we need good engineers. Refer them to us if you know them, but don't hire your deadbeat. Don't get us to hire your deadbeat brother-in-law or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother used to run a die bay or something. It was the 98 Ford F-150. He worked on the design of the frame and all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of people knew him at Dana and stuff like that. And when they opened back up, one of the engineers from Dana who went to work at the new tool and die shop, they came and looked.
Dana, the same company that used to build gearboxes.
Yes, yeah. But Dana actually built the frames for the F-150 for a lot of years. But
oh no shit, really?
Yep.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. That year that they built that was that new model. I think it was 98. When they came out with that whole new frame and all that kind of stuff. Getting ready to launch?
They're just going to do an engine test fire tonight. They got it bolted down.
Oh, okay.
The mass simulator is actually up
Yeah. The flare stack went out, and now it's venting gas out of the bottom, which would be oxygen, I hope. They don't like venting methane. They had that happen by accident before and blew the whole goddamn thing up. Anyway, well, my stream seems to be working okay, regardless of whether my phone's clogging it up or not now.
Yeah, no, it's working good now.
Glad to have y'all back. I could hear y'all fine, but every time I would say something, nobody could hear me until a minute later, and so I gave up. I rebooted the whole computer. I just shut the whole, powered down everything, and came back, and it seems to be working now. But there's only 7 of you now.
Yeah, I think, it's like I said, you're going to have to see if somebody else hosts it, and then you still go down when the people come up.
Yeah.
See if that's the problem. And if it is, if it does that for the host, then maybe you can get a hold of Jitsi and find out what that has to do with stuff.
Getting any information out of them is like sucking water out of a rock. It's they've got a forum, but it's pretty clear when I get more than 6 or 7 people, which I've got 7 now that Charles popped back on. After I hit 8, it starts freezing up.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So Rusty,
yeah, it kind of does. I think I need a more powerful computer.
So Rusty, have you heard of Sparky?
No, I hadn't heard a thing from him.
Yeah, that's what we were asking. Yeah.
He was on here.
Gary, you got
he
the
was
best
on
memory.
here the night that he got home from Muncie, but that's the only time he's been on.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen no sanding videos. I figured he'd be clearing and polishing, but yeah, we haven't seen nothing.
No, and when I look in the queue where he uploads videos, it's quiet. He hadn't uploaded anything lately either. Yeah, I heard y'all talking about that earlier and tried to say all the same stuff I just said, but nobody could hear me.
Yeah, because I thought he did like a members only video once a week, and I haven't seen nothing.
Yeah, he was doing that.
Huh. Yeah, Rusty, if you ever want, just give me a call, Rusty, if I forget to call you, so you can show me how to initiate the show and all that.
Yeah, we need to do that. We keep saying that, but yeah, okay. We'll get together.
Yeah, lately
and, compare notes.
Lately, I've just been so focused on getting this plane built. I don't think about much else besides eating and sleeping and taking care of my wife and kids. That's about it.
Yeah.
I do work still too, but I'm
at a disadvantage tonight too because I only got 2 hours of sleep before the alarm went off last night, so I'm kind of crashing here.
Hey, I was going to ask you guys, if you dream about riding a bike, does that count as exercising for the doctor?
Are you sweating when you wake up? That might constitute as a fever.
Oh my Lord!
Because I dreamt I was riding a bike, and hell, I haven't rode a damn bike in years.
Maybe it's trying to tell you something.
Hey, I was in good shape because we were racing too, and I mean, I was in some damn bike race, and I don't know where did that ever even come from in a damn dream. And I'm like, well, hell, if I can race bikes, I don't need to exercise anymore. I'm in really.
Did you have your Olympic tighties on?
Yeah.
I don't want to look. I don't want to think of that vision.
Yeah, you can't.
If I could take a picture of my dreams, I'd send it to you, Len.
I bet you would. I'll put it up on my wall in the shop. Give me motivation to keep building airplanes.
So we don't want to get this bike riding shit.
You gave me something to put behind the dartboard, Len.
It's all right. I'll use it as an archery target out at the field.
I don't know what it is, but I've been dreaming for the last week. I used to dream a lot when I was young.
Yeah, well, you stopped. Why'd you do that? Dreaming's what
No
life's
longer
about.
young. And then it's like now I can, I've been dreaming like crazy and remember my dreams. But
Awesome.
when I was young, I always thought I'd die in a dream. I'd get in a dream and I couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a night terror or whatever they call it. Samantha gets them all the time now.
The next best thing.
But I used to. But now I'm dreaming again. I'm like, man, I hope I ain't gonna start getting them stupid night terrors.
Well, I hope your dreams are good.
Yeah.
I hope
Let
so.
me
I haven't
know
had
when.
any real good ones. I mean, that'd be
Hey.
good, but if it
Yeah,
was
well,
a good
just
dream,
think,
I'm
maybe-
riding a bicycle. I mean, how stupid is that?
Just don't start.
Just keep building up. Get better and better, hopefully.
Oh, okay.
Just don't start dreaming about me.
So far, that hasn't been a problem, Les.
If I do, I'll send it. If I do, Len, I'll send it to you in a private message. I won't let
It'll be your worst nightmare.
I just have to ask Steve a question. Steve, have you started taking Chantix?
No,
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay, because that'll do that to you. I just noticed that you were smoking, and then I was going to say, if you started taking Chantix, that'll do it to you. It'll start you up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard that people that take Chantix, they dream some wild stuff when they take that.
It makes personality changes too. Yeah. I think I'll stay away from that.
Me too. I don't want my personality to change. Everybody likes that, so.
I don't need any more wild stuff going on in my head.
Where is it?
Yeah, I don't know why I've been dreaming. That's why I was just, I brought that up. It's like, what the hell makes you dream? I ain't been eating nothing any different or anything else, unless it's sweating so much outside that I got dehydrated and I got loopy or something.
That's what it is, dehydration.
Could be. Shoot.
Time to break open another Mountain Dew.
I thought about
At
getting
least I'm not
Gatorade.
dreaming about SD70 DC, the train guy. Remember him?
No.
That helmet head?
He had us believing he was a full-size train engineer.
Oh,
It
yeah.
turned out to be Alan Buck's grandson.
Awesome.
Is that who it was?
Yeah,
Good for him.
I wouldn't be surprised if Alan wasn't hanging over his shoulder telling him what to type in. Will Davis says Alan's not that kind of guy, though. So, do y'all know him?
Oh, yeah, I know Alan.
Yeah.
See him at Brodax all the time. He's a funny guy.
I mean, he's a fun guy, yeah.
He's
His
awesome.
grandson's name is Alexander. They call him Xander.
Oh,
That's who was jerking my chain for a month, thinking he was a train engineer.
Alan could have been behind it because that sounds like something Alan would do. He's crazier than crap.
Will Davis said otherwise, but no telling.
He wouldn't do anything nefarious to be mean or anything.
Oh, no.
But
He's
I
not
can
malicious.
see him just messing with you
Yeah.
as a joke.
This kid wasted a lot of my time.
Oh,
I
boy.
was typing to him. I was encouraging him. I wanted a train engineer to come in here and tell us all about big trains and stuff. And he'd send a picture here and there, but all of his posts were one-word sentences, just bullshit. And so,
Well, damn. Hey, I tell you what, don't take any friends on Facebook from any women if you're that gullible.
I get hundreds of friend requests on Facebook and have no idea if any of them are real or not. I generally don't accept them anymore.
I don't
I
even
got
accept.
one. I got one today from some woman, and it said that she was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And she was laying on a bed, and she was wearing a thong. And I'm like, yeah, we want to delete that one. That looks like a lot of trouble to me.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
I think I turned the wrong direction in Albuquerque. That was Bugs Bunny. I think I made a wrong turn back in Albuquerque. I used to love Bugs Bunny. That was one of my favorite cartoons. Foghorn
What's
Leghorn,
funny?
and all those guys.
What's
Hey,
up,
Looney
Doc?
Tunes.
Did you guys
Yeah, what's
see
up, Doc?
Olivia de Havilland died at 104.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, her, and I didn't realize that her and Kirk Douglas, they were the same age and worked at the same studio and all that. He died earlier this year at 104.
Good Lord.
Wow, really?
Well, they said that all the glory days of Hollywood's done now because they were like what was left of it from way back.
Hey, Steve, what's going to happen if you and I live to 104?
I have no idea.
There'll be a bunch of old gray hairs on an airplane for them talking about you for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's about it.
No,
probably not. There won't, because we're about the youngest there is out here, so I don't think so.
The thing is, though, is that I won't be able to keep up with the technology.
No.
And I'll probably piss Samantha off, so she won't show me how to do it. But that's
You
the worst
can't
thing.
show somebody. You can't show somebody how to do modern tech. You gotta take it on as an entertaining hobby and figure it out yourself.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
the only way to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta want to.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
I want to. I just forget how to do the shit. You got to go here and here and here and do this and turn this off and this on.
Now you can't
You know,
learn
like, oh my
that.
God.
There's no way to learn that stuff because there's 50 different ways to do everything. You just need to know how to figure out how to figure it out, basically.
Well, I
you
told Samantha, I said, I can't remember where I laid down my sanding block. How in the hell am I going to remember how to do 7 or 8 things on this phone to fix it?
Yeah, I know.
You don't. You just remember to know where to find out how.
How to do it, huh?
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing is that you naturally gravitate to the hardest way to do something. I mean, that comes naturally.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's the frustration part about the technology is that, you know, whenever you start doing it, you're doing it the worst, most difficult way. And then someone shows you, no, just do it like this, and you go, oh, it's that easy.
Well, that's like getting on this thing back when we were on.
Exactly.
Hangout.
Remember when I couldn't get on here at all and Rusty was trying to show me? What a nightmare. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
One time I got on, and then I couldn't get on for like 3 or 4 months. I got on again. I'm asking everybody that I can't get on. Then I finally figured out I got on again, but that time I saved everything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how I do it every time now. I go back in there. I go into my, the little star thing.
Yeah.
I click on that one, then go down, click on that one, I get on. Because if I don't, I couldn't figure out how to get on this thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't remember how the hell to do it.
No, and the one thing with Hangouts, you guys would have them, and I don't know if you just talked or whatever, my phone would be ringing, and you're invited, and it's like, well, son of a bitch, I can't get on again tonight. You know, I can never get on
It's
this
just crazy. I had the same trouble, Steve. I couldn't figure out how to get on here to save my life.
Yeah, everybody goes through it.
But now it's just natural. I mean, I just go on. I don't even think about it anymore.
Simple.
And it was just,
simple now.
well, you get better at everything if you do it enough.
I don't know if it's simple.
Yeah.
I just do it the same way. And everybody says, oh, do this and do that. And I'm like, la, 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 la. I'm doing it my way because I get on. I ain't going to do it the simple way or whatever. This is the hard way, but I can do it. So
That's all that matters.
That's the way to do it then.
As long as you get there, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get there.
Yeah, we don't ask how you got on here. Just glad you got on here.
No.
That's right.
Well, one thing I found out too is that it's easier with the new thing for Microsoft, the little Wave or whatever that thing is.
Edge, really?
Yeah. Because I moved everything from Chrome over, and it goes through a lot faster.
Really? I
Yeah.
haven't tried that.
I downloaded it. I just haven't made it my default browser yet.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So Samantha's old laptop. I put it on there first to try it because I didn't want to mess this one up.
Sure.
And it worked good on there. So then I okayed it to do this
Do
one.
it on here.
But
Well,
yeah.
you know what was interesting is I was coming on here before with Chrome, and it was working fine. And then all of a sudden it stopped working fine. Remember, for about a month or so, I didn't come on here at all because I couldn't make it work. I went back to my old browser, and it worked fine the first time. And I've been on here ever since again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I broke down and got a new laptop.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I told some, she's looking at getting another phone or whatever because her phone is slowing down. I'm like, they do that on purpose.
Oh, for sure. They want you to buy another one. Most definitely.
It's just like with my computer here.
Yeah, so it gets to a certain age, and then they start sending you notices and warnings that it's coming to the end, and da 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 da. You need a new one.
Yeah. Well, I bought that new computer, and that was from you guys. What one to get with the i5 or whatever, and I got whatever speeds. Then it was starting to mess up. Then Rusty told me about the router. I didn't know your router slows down too slower. I mean, it's like, so there goes another $100 to keep up with technology. But
all I did is I went out and bought a decent modern laptop, and it works just beautifully on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just a decent modern laptop with a camera in it and everything. I don't have any issues whatsoever. Works
I've
good.
always wanted a laptop, but I always go back to the PC because I like the desktop. It just suits me better.
What do you like about the desktop? The mouse?
I don't know. I just haven't maybe used the laptop enough to have learned to love it.
Because what I did is I plugged a mouse into the side of my laptop, so I use it just like my desktop.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like that.
I don't like those little pads and shit.
No, I can't use them at all. I hate them. So that's why I just plug the mouse into the side of my computer, and I got a mouse pad sitting right beside the laptop. Works perfect.
Yeah,
I do that too. Yeah, in fact, I got a wireless optical mouse. It's just a radio. Yeah.
So I have a wireless mouse and a wireless keyboard connected to my laptop. That's what
Good. Yeah, exactly. Works good.
I had a wireless keyboard that came with this mouse, but I wore all the numbers off of the keys. So I went back to a USB keyboard. But I still got, this is Logitech. Logitech makes good stuff.
They do. They do. And if you have a problem, you call them and they'll replace it. If they're standing behind it.
I like a desktop just because of the bigger screen.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can get almost the same size with laptops now. I mean, I got a 22-inch or 24-inch screen on this desktop. I'd like to have 2 monitors. That's what I'd really like.
Well, my boss has 2 laptops. Somehow he sets the laptop alongside of the desktop. And the screens, he can move stuff from screen to screen and all kinds of stuff.
Same thing. I figured you could do that. Yeah.
You know what I do is I hook a wire up to my TV set. I can have the biggest screen in town if I want. It's easy. All you do is run a wire from your laptop or your desktop over to your TV, plug it in, and guess what? You got a 65-inch screen. If you can't see me then, you never will.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
You do that, man. Can you imagine how gorgeous I'd be on your big TV?
That's what I was just saying. I can't imagine you looking at me that side.
I tell you, I think I got to try it.
I don't even want you to see what I look like that side.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of you, Len. When you see me that big, you'd be like, damn, I ain't never going back on there again.
You scare the shit out of me every day.
I'd be like, damn, I'm an ugly bastard, man.
Oh, boy. We have way too much fun on here. Thank God we don't all live close together and fly in the same club. Can you imagine?
Oh, boy.
Just imagine what a Saturday morning at the field would be like.
Nobody'd be flying. We'd all be laughing and joking.
Nobody'd be locked up in still motion, though.
Pretty much.
Damn, what is Steve on that wing over?
What's wrong with Steve?
For a half hour.
I actually think it'd be great. It'd be wonderful if we lived closer.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
At least if you're locked in the wing over, Steve, you don't crash.
That's for sure. You guys would all be saying that's the longest flight he's ever had.
You know why? Because I find that in control line, there are some people that aren't social. It's so funny. I mean, it's like I think it's just a social hobby, but there are people that do this hobby. I'm not saying a lot, but there's some that are unsocial.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, and it's like I'm like, okay, I just accept them the way they are, but they don't like to. They don't call. We don't talk. We just fly at the field, and that's it.
But then you don't see or hear from them till the next time you're both at the field.
Yeah,
that's strange. Yeah,
well, that's like
we have the same thing
with Paul Walker. Seeing him at the Nats year after year, and I mean he doesn't talk much. Whatever. We're at the Christian Modelers. There, they do that once a year.
Yeah, FCM.
Yeah. Him and his wife came to that. We laughed. It was like this. We were laughing. Paul is a riot when he's not in competition.
Right.
Oh my God. He was cracking jokes, and I was like, that ain't the same guy,
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a blast there, and he was funnier than shit. And it's like, wow, seeing him away from. When he's so focused, and that's why he wins so much. He's so focused, I think.
Most definitely.
Well,
all the guys who win are that way.
Yeah,
I got to reset the live
in a
stream.
restaurant, and Paul Walker comes up to me and he goes, "What are you doing here?" And then he was just surprised to see me. In Muncie, Indiana. I see him at the Golden State, and it was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to reset the live stream.
No.
Well, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, I gotta get off too. I gotta.
All right, guys.
I may have a good dream tonight. I may want to go to bed early.
I'm worried.
Okay.
I'm worried.
I'm worried you're gonna be in my dreamland, and then I will never be able to go to bed again.
Don't worry. Don't worry, Lynn. I don't think you're his type. I'm sure you're safe. Don't worry.
No, I'm not his type. That's for sure. I'm pretty safe. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
My stream's still running. It just said it quit, but it's still running.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see everybody Friday.
I'll see you
You
Friday.
Okay, yeah.
Take her easy,
Bye.
buddy. Be good.
I will. I'll be safe.
I'll
Yeah,
have some
thanks for hanging out,
by
man.
Friday, Steve.
All right. I want to see that top block all done, or the mold.
Right.
On there Friday.
Same here. You got
All right.
it. You got
Yeah,
it.
Charles, you can do it.
I'm after it.
Bye.
It's a contest of who finishes first, Steve or me.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. That's kind of neat. You guys are building the same plane. That's kind of cool. And you can help each other. Any pitfalls, you guys can help each other avoid them.
Exactly.
Yep.
Have either one of you started the wing yet?
I have no idea. I haven't started the wing yet.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my.
And it's more because I don't have really a flat working a building surface to work from yet.
Okay. That's important.
Yeah, this is my first molded block that I'm making. It's all new for me.
What's this for?
This is for my new plane. It's a modified.
That sounds like a fun learning experience.
Yeah, I just have. It's kind of like anxiousness and apprehension at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
You don't want to take
when
that
you don't know what
first
you're.
step.
Yeah.
I always have the hardest time taking that first step, but once I jump in, I'm on a run, but hopefully a good run.
Oh, yeah.
Let's close up, guys. I am Not on my. Oh, well, what you show us what you're doing, Charles?
So this is my phone. Let me click on the screen so I can see what I'm showing. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, I can make you big.
So this is my phone block. That's the image of the. That's a
This
top
is
down view.
for the top block. Is this the top block you're making or
No,
bottom block?
the bottom block.
Bottom block. Okay.
And where's the? Let me see. I got. It's might be too faint. To see that, but I have. You probably can't make that out. But I
Can barely see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's kind of the shape of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
And how are you going to cut that? Do you have a hot wire or something?
I'm just gonna cut this with my bandsaw.
Okay, that'll work.
Just rough cut,
And then sand it.
Then I'm gonna mount it to this. So it's gonna be glued onto this.
Okay.
This is the base.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So it'll be glued to here, this side.
Yeah.
And then I'll
So
just shape it to. I have this. This is kind of like the profile of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So that's
And this is for your Strega, is it?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
That's how tall the bottom block will be. I guess I should show it like this.
Good stuff.
Like that. Yeah.
Awesome. And then you're just going to wrap it with sheet, like what? 1/332 or 1/8 sheet?
I'm gonna, Bob Hunt was telling me all he uses is 1/16.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And then he puts epoxy on the inside of it once it's all
to stiffen it. Yeah.
And then he wipes that. He heats it up and then he wipes it all out and then
For the car.
And he says it's really stiff.
I'll bet. That's a good idea.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to get this. I'm believing to get this plane down to like, if I can get it down to 64 ounces or a little bit less, that would be awesome. If I can't,
it'll be a kick butt airplane. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Well done.
Yeah,
oh, one step at a time.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm putting a tune pipe in this Strega, so it's going to be totally different than anything that I've flown.
That's neat.
I have K77 with a tune pipe.
That'll be good. It'll be very good. If you can get it to 64 ounces, you'll be ultra happy.
Yeah. I mean, if it's even 68, my last Strega was 80 ounces. So anything.
If you can get it to 70, you're way ahead of the game.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But shoot for the stars, and if you fall a little short, you'll still be happy. That's the way to do it. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. I figure if I get 2 points per maneuver better, that's 30 points plus the appearance points.
That's huge.
It's going to be like game over, lights out.
Yeah.
Drop the handle. No, don't do that.
No, don't drop the handle.
Well, mine's glow.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. You can put the handle down. You're safe as long as it's not running.
Yeah. Yeah. So not a problem. But I was saying earlier, and I was watching the Sparky's top 5 videos of the Nats. I was so surprised to see Paul Walker do an outside square from level height. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
So he's at 6 feet, for example, or maybe 4 feet.
Yeah. Weird.
And he starts the outside square going straight up and then go across. And of course,
and then down under.
Doesn't start to the first corner.
Wow.
I'm busy. I'm sorry, I'm busy. Anyway, so I thought that was so amazing. The rule book says it doesn't start till you hit that down part. It doesn't matter how you get there, but traditionally, everybody is high at 35 degrees and then goes down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Started lower and went up, and I was like, wow,
that's wild.
I got to go back and read about that in the rule book and then look at that video.
Well, as long as you enter it from 45 degrees, like as long as you go up there and then enter the down part at 45 degrees, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I was like, what's he doing?
Yeah, it's weird though because you're used to people doing it from level flight at 45 degrees.
I wonder if he had gone and told the judges beforehand if it might have worked out differently for him score-wise.
Yeah, it
Well,
might
who
be a good
knows?
idea to tell the judge, hey, I'm going to
I would
approach.
always tell them if I'm going to do something out of the ordinary, but
Yeah.
within the rules.
I can actually see the advantage of that because what it does is it slows the airplane down before you start the maneuver. It makes more sense to me than I ever would have thought now that you guys are talking about it. I'm
Yeah.
going to try it.
So am I.
That's phenomenal.
I know. Because you're basically already starting the verticals. You're getting them to frame the verticals, you know?
Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually. It was the same thing as somebody, I don't remember who was talking about it on the Nats feed or something about Brett Buck had told somebody that when it's windy out and you're trying to line up for the overhead eights to come into it gradually instead of snapping into it. And I thought, gee, that's really a smart thing to do because
Yeah,
you don't
that's
bleed
you
off so much
got to
speed.
snap into it because
Yep.
it starts at 90 degrees, right?
That's right. So you don't need to snap into it. If you go into it gradually, you don't bleed off the speed, and it helps you to figure out exactly where the wind is to hit it perfectly by the time you get up over your head. So that made a lot of sense to me, and I tried it, and it works very well. Sometimes it's just about listening to what they're trying to tell you.
Is that what Sparky was talking about? Up
He
there?
was talking about it the other night. Yeah.
Someone was telling him about it. He was.
Yeah.
He was in on the conversation. That's the one time he's been on since the Nats is that night.
Okay.
Suppose he's all right, maybe. I mean, hope.
Well, hopefully he's okay. I'm sure he is. He's just probably busy doing something.
He's probably worn out.
Yeah.
You know.
What are you guys talking about? I'm back.
We're just talking about
Sparky.
Paul and the side figure eight and
Yeah.
where Sparky might be.
Yeah, I almost texted him with a question today myself.
So Charles,
I figure Sparky's probably just worn out from the Nats, and he's been doing a lot of work lately.
Oh,
you know,
for
on
sure.
airplanes and shows and things like that. So
And probably working again too.
maybe.
Charles, I was also saying that that I had heard during the feed for the Nats about somebody, I don't know if it was Sparky or Brett Buck had mentioned the fact that when you're going into your overhead eights and it's windy, you want to go into them gradually as opposed to snapping up into them because that way you can get the alignment with the wind much better.
Yeah, because
Because
the stunt doesn't start until you're straight over.
Yeah.
over your head.
Exactly. Yeah.
So all these little things, they're little tips that you have to listen to and go, yeah, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah. Because we're actually also managing power. I mean,
Most definitely. You don't bleed off all your power. If you snap the airplane up like that, you bleed off so much power that now when it gets to the top, it's starving.
Yeah. I mean, I see Dave Fitzgerald, which amazes me. He has a PA-75, and he's whipping it, before he goes into the hourglass.
Yeah.
But I guess, and Sparky whips it also before he goes into the hourglass.
Yeah, well, those hard corners, they really bleed off the speed big time. So you kind of need to.
Yeah. I'm just, I probably should do that as well. I just haven't started that habit yet.
Hey guys, I'm done. I'm really
I
tired.
think we're done too.
Yeah, I think we're done too.
We're done.
Yeah.
I gotta get back to my molding buck anyway. So.
All right, guys. Well, have a great week.
Yeah, y'all do too, and we'll be back Friday. Hopefully, no, wait a minute. Yeah, Friday. Maybe I'll have a uneventful week, and I'll be in chipper mood Friday, bright-tailed and bushy-eyed. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay,
Take it
people.
easy.
Thanks.
I'll see you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks,
And,
Rusty. Thanks for all the work.
Yeah. See you later. Same bat time, same bat channel. Friday night.
You bet, guys.
Yeah.
All right, man. See ya.
Bye now.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Stopping stream.